You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Oh, there she is, getting ready for the big coverage. We're just looking back on some coverage from the Trevor Lawrence draft and the Jalon Walker draft, and maybe show some of that. Doing this new Into the Archives segment from Republic Services. Next week, we go into the archives on the draft stuff because there's some, you know what's fun about this for me? Liv and I were watching some of it yesterday because we're getting ready for our coverage. And really actually proud of the show we did, the Trevor Lawrence one specifically, but Jalon Walker, we did 3 hours of coverage on TV for the number 1 overall pick. And it was just some really cool stuff from a TV perspective. And what's funny is what we say in there as the pick is happening. Like, this is going to change the franchise, right? Like, this is going to, it's all up from here. Yeah. What has transpired since? Oh, not so much. Anyway, that's our draft coverage next week. Just go from a week from today. And we'll have an hour on TV, and then we're going 2 more hours here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. And we really start the morning 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Jags headquarters with our 3-hour show, Brent and Austen Show, and then on TV like a bunch. So all day, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We got you covered in a week. Top of the morning to YB400. YB400, I'm glad I saw this. I had a question for you from my father-in-law. It specifically wasn't for you from my father-in-law, but it was to me, and I'm like, I'm going to ask YB400. Okay. I've been driving so damn much lately. I can't believe how much I'm like driving these days. I don't mind driving, but I feel like I'm noticing it a lot. Okay. I feel like I'm you, YB400, like driving a truck. Well, so we were driving back from Polk State on Tuesday, and some of the conversation was just about whatever, construction through Orlando, which, by the way, so much better getting through Orlando. I got through Orlando, I think, in record time on Tuesday night.
Glad to hear it. I haven't been there in a minute, but if I have to go back like through Murray State and drive through like that way, yeah, like, I like it. Yeah. Orlando. I'm sorry, Orlando.
No, Orlando.
Orlando. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well, Atlanta, forget about it.
Atlanta's still just
forget about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, real quick question was, how long are truck drivers allowed to be out on the road in one stint?
What is it, like,
do you know?
20 or something? Well, yeah, because one of my best friends is a truck driver. So, like, there's, like, something in your truck where, like, when you reach your limit, you got to pull over.
Yeah, you got to pull over, right?
Yeah.
But, like,
supposedly.
No, 20 hours.
I don't know. I don't think it's I don't know what it, I mean.
It's got to be like
probably
a 12,
worth a Google,
maybe
huh?
like a 12. Well, no, we're going to ask YB400. He's going to answer it.
Okay.
He knows the trucking world.
Okay.
At least he claimed to the other day, I think. So, when we were asking about backing up big rigs and stuff.
I got you.
There's a part on the highway.
I mean, I have the answer if you need it, but we'll see what YB400
We'll see if YB400 gets it. But I really just need to tell my father-in-law this. And my favorite part of, you drive 95 South because you went down to Miami a bunch. Mm-hmm. So around like exit, I want to say it's like 305 or maybe it's like 293 or 298 or something like that. Okay. You know that very aggressive no parking where they...
Oh, with like all the signs?
20 signs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like all the signs. You know it because you're driving down. I love it. It might be my most famous or favorite stretch of road like in the country is that 5 seconds driving through that. Yep. Because I'm just like,
there he is.
That is the most aggressive thing I've ever seen lawmakers do is put a no parking sign for the truckers every 3 feet.
Okay, yeah. It's crazy,
like 30
man.
of them.
Trying to drive that point home.
All right, we have a 72-hour work week, but can only drive for 10 hours a day. Okay, wait a minute now. How does that work?
That doesn't add up.
What do you mean?
72-hour work week, but can only drive 10 hours a day.
Maybe that counts maybe 30 minutes of offloading or something like that. That's not driving.
Oh, so you can be on the clock, but not
I think
drive.
the work week means like, that's just like your travels and like staying and.
I see.
14 hours.
14 hours work day. Okay, so unloading, other things like that. But actual drive time.
I thought it went by
can only
miles.
Be 8 hours a day. Wow. Steven says more than 70 hours in 8 days.
10 hours a day.
I'm sorry, 10 hours a day. While the 60-hour rule limits work to 60 hours in 7 days. Interesting. In Canada, we can do 14 on duty for 16. Huh. So you can drive for 14. All right. We switched over to WrestleMania quick. We got a lot of people excited about WrestleMania.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Right.
We'll talk about it. We're going to have the Brent and Austen WrestleMania Spectacular tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see how it works out. Hamby, start doing your homework.
Won't be here.
Somebody please give me an explainer.
There we go.
Hey, if the Jags were picking right now,
Yep.
you guys all have to do this. Who do you think the Jags are picking at number 5 today?
Mason Graham.
What's your name? Hamby?
You asked the question. You said if the Jaguars pick at number 5, who are they taking? You looked at me. I said Mason Graham. What's the issue?
I know. I was going to Hamby next.
Oh, I got you. I
forgot
thought you
his
were making.
name.
Oh, I thought you were saying because I jumped the gun.
Why is he so sensitive?
Because Hamby jumps the gun.
This WrestleMania thing's going to be a big thing tomorrow. Going to go at it.
You better believe it, man.
No, I just forgot his name for a second. I almost called him Austin, then I almost called him Casey. And then hey, listen, it's like my mom calls me like my uncle all the time. Like it still happens.
Oh, yeah. My mom calls me my dog. We're going to start with a J, so that's really cool.
Yikes.
Anyways, I got Mason Graham as well.
I feel like I don't have Mason Graham.
Who you got?
You haven't had Mason Graham all offseason.
Brent, it's crazy how much you don't like Mason Graham, man.
No, but I'm trying to go from where the Jags would pick.
Sure.
Not from what I...
Production.
what I think. I'm thinking they land on Jalon Walker.
So the opposite of production.
The opposite of production.
Well, I mean, I don't know what his score was.
I thought one of you guys was going to say offensive lineman or Jeanty.
No, man. We talked.
Well, I was going to say.
Jeanty's my second favorite right now.
No, listen, by the way, this is not who you are picking.
Who the Jaguars are picking.
I think the Jags are picking.
I think they're picking it.
A lot of people coming off that news conference. You're the one that told me coming off the news conference. You said you felt offensive line or running back.
Well,
Me?
we broke it down yesterday. We talked about Membu, and Membu is what, 4th or 5th?
What show is this guy listening to?
I don't know, man. I don't think
said
you listen to the right
defensive line.
show. Yeah. So, because yesterday we talked about how Membo's out. Because Membo's like one of the favorites.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Get him
he's
out.
He's 4th or 5th, right?
Yeah.
In terms
Vegas
of
says no.
Production.
I think Jalon Walker should be second because I think it's going to be a defensive lineman. Okay. So if it's not Mason Graham, then it's going to be Jalon Walker.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
But do you think he's playing defensive lineman or is he playing linebacker?
He'd be the third guy, but on the edge, behind whenever Trayvon and Josh are out, and he'd be kind of a free roaming linebacker.
Okay.
He is the all-encompassing guy who can spy on the quarterback, rush the passer, fill in run gaps.
Chess piece.
He can do everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've tried that. That was what Devin Linwood was supposed to be. That has nothing to do with whether this front office wants Jalon Walker or not, but it's just like as a fan base, it's like we have that on the team supposedly.
Yeah.
7th in production score at linebacker, by the way.
Oh, just out of linebackers?
If you buy into that whole thing.
Just out of linebackers.
Out of the 2025 combine linebacker rank, he is 7th in production score.
Okay.
Incredible football player.
Hey, by the way,
fantastic.
I'm going to see. I'll see if this changes. But my point of doing this today is: will anything influence us by next week when we get to Thursday? And this is almost like, hey, sleep on your selection, right? Sleep on your selection. See how you wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, if you sleep on the Mason Graham selection, you're going to wake up tomorrow either seeing that video the other day,
man, poor dude,
or you're going to be sleeping just fine. Sleeping like a baby. But I don't know. You're right, guys. I've been on this a little bit. I've not, and don't get me wrong, I don't not like the Mason Graham pick. I think it's fine. I just don't feel like it's a slam dunk as much as everybody says. And maybe I'm just trying to be contrarian in my own mind subconsciously. I don't think I am. I just don't feel like, a lot of times in the draft stuff, when it's obvious, it can be obvious. Trevor.
Sure.
But then there are other ones where it just doesn't seem obvious. Josh Hines Allen wasn't obvious because we didn't know he'd slip that way, right? That was for a different reason.
Jalen Ramsey was obvious?
Jalen Ramsey was pretty obvious that it would be 1 or 3, right? But I don't think to me Anton Harrison was obvious. That position even, forget about the player. I don't think it was obvious last year with Brian Thomas Jr. I didn't know if they were going to go a Jared Verse and add to that or go in a different direction. I forget who else was on the board at that time, but I didn't necessarily think they were going Brian Thomas. We wondered if they would be willing to grab a wide receiver in the first round. This organization, Balky, had not done that a lot, and they did it. So I think there is a lot of unpredictability here, and these guys feel like they're about as unpredictable. We don't know them yet. So there's certainly unpredictability to this regime specifically. and yet everybody feels like they've got him pegged to take Mason Graham. I think there's something off there.
So what is it about Mason Graham that doesn't make you as excited as some other Jaguars fans to get him? Like, is it what you see on film? Is it what the stats? Like, what is it the size? Is it the video of him swiping? What is it?
It's solely for me at the top of what you just listed is something you didn't list, and that is his impact in year one. I still have trouble getting by how you're playing Eric Armstead. You've kept him. It's not like you moved from him.
Sure.
And how you're playing Mason Smith and growing him and developing a second-round pick, where I know it wasn't their pick. They don't have to be tied to him. But still, why wouldn't you try to develop that second-round pick? And then you also now have to develop this guy as well. Now, can you play three techniques? Can you make room for them? And by the way, you also have an opportunity to kick in Jalon Walker at times if need be. Mm-hmm. So you have so many options at that position. How does he help you in year one? Is he better than those three options I just gave you? And I'm not convinced he is, quite frankly. So if you tell me 26, 27, 28, he's going to be really good for you, I buy that more than this year. But you're not taking on 5th overall pick to help you out down the road as much as you want some instant impact here in September.
I'm taking a 5th round pick because if in totality of last year, of what the biggest issue on the defense was, and there was a lot of them, they were one of the worst defenses in the league, but I think the worst issue was interior pass rush.
Yeah.
And if you mean to tell me, like, do you feel confident with Eric Armstead moving down? That's something we don't know. Do we feel confident with the guys that you selected last year who weren't obviously Gladstone or Cohen guys to improve? You would hope so, but you don't know. So this is where I think Mason Graham comes into play and say, we can get better interior push because we have the edges taken care of.
Right.
Like, I think if you look at, like, you try to get an edge, or like, the guy from Georgia we're talking about, and you put him on the edge, that's fine. But then in what capacity do you really use him? And what capacity? Because I'll tell you right now, like, yes, depth is an issue at the edge. Starting edge is not an issue.
No.
Starting, pass rushing is not an issue. Now, yeah, you need more than 2 guys. I understand that. But I'm saying, what's more of an issue right now? Getting after the quarterback on the edge or interior push?
I think overall interior push.
Yeah.
But I think, so I'm going to use the upgrade button here. And this is where, again, I'll just piggyback what I say about the upgrade. I think you have players there that I'm not sure this guy's going to upgrade above that in year one. I think if you draft a Jalon Walker and you use him on the edge sometimes or somebody else, you're upgrading your depth pass rush and your chess game, I would say, too, in spades. I think way more than Mason Graham in 2025.
Okay.
No, go ahead, but
no, you're good. Keep going.
No, that's really it.
Okay.
So let me ask you guys this: if who gets on the field more for this football team right now, even though it looks like a depth play if you go with the edge, Jalon Walker or Mason Graham play more snaps? Do you think?
I mean,
it'd probably be about even.
I think if injuries aren't a thing, obviously, and everyone's healthy, I think Mason Graham more, honestly, because I once again, like, are you going to take Josh Hines-Allen off the field and Jalon Walker off the field in base?
Because, like, Tyler Lacey played about 25 to 30% of the snaps last year, and I think Jalon Walker eats those up immediately, and then he can play free roaming. They'll create defensive packages for him to play linebacker, right? And he'll get up to at least 50, 60% in week one. Mason Graham, I think, is around there because no defensive tackle other than Aaron Donald ever plays more than 80% of the snaps anyway. So Mason Graham's going to be in there 60% of the time on week one, right there next to Mason Smith, Eric Armstead, and Devon Hamilton.
If you're creating the defensive packages, though, then who's sitting? Are you taking Lloyd out?
Sure.
Are you taking
especially in third down sets?
Well, no, third down sets. No, third down sets. You're gonna put him on the edge. Like, well, I think it's gonna be Nolan Smith. I believe all over again. But my point is that if we're talking base defense, and I get it's not a lot these days in the NFL because it's a pass-first league, but you're still playing against the Colts, who are going to run the ball. Mm-hmm. You're still playing against the Texans, who have Mixon. The Titans are just going to, we'll keep on sleeping on them, as we always do. But then, like, what does it look like in base? Because if you get a guy in the first round, I just don't want him as a pass rush specialist, especially on a defense that was so bad last year. I'm going to need your first round pick to produce a lot more than just third down reps. So then if the question is, what do you do on the base defense? Are you going to move Foye? Are you going to move Lloyd? What's the plan there?
Well, I mean, if you draft a guy 5th overall, you're saying that he's better than Lloyd and anybody else other than Foye. So it would be Foye and Jalon Walker in any nickel packages. But what I was saying on third down is I think Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon stay on the edge on third down, and Jalon Walker becomes your
NASCAR package guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or spy / you got the quarterback.
So you could put Armstead, Walker, Hines-Allen,
Mason Smith,
and Walker.
Yeah, and
Walker brothers,
and he can also cover. Like he will immediately be your fastest linebacker. And Devin Lloyd, which is one of the bigger issues with Lloyd, was him having to cover on third down.
Yeah, well, Walker
cover tight ends.
People say the weakness will be Walker covering too, but
I can tell you right now he can run with guys a lot better than Devin Lloyd can.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, who knows? We'll see. Right? I just wanted to take that temperature check really to see where it goes next week and if we move on that. If there gets more smoke in the next couple of days, next week on a guy like Jeanty, which, by the way, Jeanty, did you see him pen the article?
I haven't seen the article.
It was a Players Tribune.
Okay.
Really well done. And I always like those. I think the Players Tribune is kind of a cool thing when these guys do this. People are – it just showed his love for football. It showed – first of all, I did not realize he lived in Jacksonville until he was 7. We had always heard he was born in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But his dad's a military guy and moved around, and I think he moved from here to Chesapeake, I think he said.
Claim him, man. We got to claim him. Derrick Henry.
7, you can almost claim him now.
Claim him. Well, he didn't go to high school. I feel like you got to go to high school.
But he was probably on some Pop Warner field at 6, 7 years old, or he played a lot of different sports. He talks about all the different, he's played with no stars and 5 stars. Like, it was really cool. Seems like a cool cat, Yeah. And here's the part that people are grabbed onto. He said, I've taken the long way. I've done with that way. I'm done with that way. If you pick me, it's simple. I'm coming to your franchise to do what Saquon the Eagles just did. I'm coming to win big soon. It's tackle football. You know what I'm saying? I draft a guy that can't tackle. Thanks for your time. This was like an open letter to GMs.
Sure, yeah.
And quite the salesman.
Yeah. That was cool. Like a confident thing. Which, by the way, this doesn't impact anybody or whatever. I thought it was pretty good, pretty well done. He seems like a cool cat anyway. Like I've said, I think it's a weird pick if the Jags pick running back at 5. I just. Because, again, they haven't moved from Travis Etienne or it doesn't look gaping.
Correct.
But I also would go back to my Jalon Walker conversation and say, can they upgrade? And I think absolutely you can upgrade. If this guy's special, you can upgrade that backfield. Yeah. And if you're not going to go get wide receiver because you don't like the receivers compared to yesterday's conversation we were having, then, well, now you upgrade the run game even more and you help out all those receivers and Trevor Lawrence in that way. Could the biggest guy helping Trevor Lawrence not be an offensive lineman or a wide receiver, but be a running back? Mm-hmm. If they look at it that way, well, maybe we got something. And Les Snead and others, they've drafted Gurley before and other, so I'm stuck on last year's or recent history where it's Bucky Irving in the 4th round or Kyron Williams in the 3rd or 4th round. They've had success that way, but there are other ways to do this. It's just you better not miss. If you're thinking of taking running back, you better not miss. And you better also be okay with a 3 or 4 year, maybe 5 year window. I mean, there's no way you sign up to get Derrick Henry these days. Like, you're not getting an 8 to 10 year run out of a running back.
Yeah.
It just doesn't trend that way, and I don't care how good the guy is.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry is the unicorn, especially of a guy who played so much in college, too, and that was the reason why he didn't go in the first round.
He got 40 totes a game in high school.
Yeah, just because, how much tread was left on the tires. I mean, listen, in terms of, I don't even know, what the metrics say, but I don't think is there any one more productive in this draft than there was with Ashton Jeanty.
They're hard to find.
It's hard to find, and I think the running back position is weird because I always think of wide receivers being prima donnas, having all the ego, and I feel like if any position it should be more of the running backs. Because think about it, you're getting the rock maybe 20, 25 times a game if you're the bell cow. The offense can revolve around you and everything, but you got guys like Saquon, you got guys like Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Jeanty. These are locker room dudes. These are quality top tier dudes. And I'm not saying Ashton Jeanty is my favorite pick here to go to the Jaguars, but it's funny because the more that I watched him all year just because when I was training in Vegas for a previous fight, Boise State games were at a premium, and then my cousin is in sports law at Boise State, so he gives me the rundown too of all their teams and everything. So I was following Ashton Jeanty really close, and I think I saw like 5 or 6 games of him, and dude is electric. Dude is a game wrecker for sure. And would I be excited if he came to Jacksonville? I would be intrigued. Like I would be more excited, obviously, for Ashton Jeanty than I would be for like Membu.
I think there's 2 guys. There's Travis Hunter and there's Ashton Jeanty to get excited about.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, I think I think some people. I think Tet still fits in that a little bit for some people. For some people, I'm not saying it's me, but I think think so too. It's wide receiver, right? It's the big, tall, wide receiver. So I think people would be intrigued by that. I'm not necessarily intrigued, but I think other people would be. But yeah, I just think with Ashton Jeanty, man, it would be fun to watch. And once again, you want to talk about Bucky Irving? Yeah, trust me, I went down more of a rabbit hole last night, and then I saw like what Liam Cohen and company drafted and what they look for in their analytics and everything. And Bucky Irving, in terms of metrics, in terms of athleticism, I think he was like 28th, 29th.
Oh, really?
Wasn't that good. But do you know where he was in production? 4th overall.
There he goes. I like it. I'm
just saying, man.
Hey, no, it's okay to say it. I like that. That's good. You got some evidence to back it up, right? Mm-hmm. Look at him. He's burner. 40 games played, 4,769 yards, 50 touchdowns. Can you ignore that? People tried to ignore the Derrick Henry one, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Can you ignore production? When you produce, you win. When you produce, it's guys. People that produce seem to always produce.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you can't explain it. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you can try to poke holes in it. And sometimes you don't think it fits. But if you look at folks that produce, some people win, some people produce. And you can't explain it sometimes. There is the intangibly rich. I don't know why they are always producing or why they are always winning, a la Derek Jeter. Mm-hmm. But it's this uncanny thing, and you don't turn that away.
Yep.
Which might be hard to pass up a guy like Jeanty.
We've talked about before, if you drafted Travis Hunter, maybe he can win you 1 or 2 games just because of if he plays both sides of the ball, he'll have a direct impact on the game. If you draft Ashton Jeanty, how many games can he win you?
Well, I think he can win you, at least a couple. At least 2, and you might even put his WAR in this instance at a little bit more, because I got evidence that happened with Fournette. I'm a huge believer in 2017. Fournette changed his football team and won because of him. So R.J. Harvey, by the way, also compared there on Hamby's burner, putting the stats up, which aren't that far behind. Very productive as well. And you could get an R.J. Harvey maybe in, 3rd round, something like that. So that's something to consider as well. And also make some sense, because that's where you more likely they have 2 3rd-round picks, and that's where you get a running back rather than the 5th overall pick, right? But is there a separator? Who knows? So, I think probably 2+, right, is what makes sense to me. Hey, a couple other quick hitters here. I didn't think about this yesterday coming off the pre-draft luncheon during the show, or even at the pre-draft luncheon, and then I was talking to the sports office yesterday, and I'm like, where was Tony Baselli at the pre-draft luncheon? Mm-hmm. Were you a little surprised that Baselli wasn't part of that?
Honestly, I didn't even...
by the way, he was there. I know where he was. He was there.
It's bad. I didn't even think about it until you brought it up.
I didn't either. But I'm not trying to create something here. I'm just... It seems like this big collaborative thing. Does it say something?
I just think that he's more of the behind the scenes, in the building. We think of the draft. We think of the on-the-field play. We think of 2 people, 2 positions. We think of the coaches, and we think of the GM, right? They're responsible. We don't necessarily think of the EVP. And even though I think Tony Baselli is going to be huge in collaboration and his input's going to be huge in terms of how this draft goes and everything, I don't think we need to see Tony Baselli in front of the cameras for every single press conference.
Yeah, I don't, again, this isn't coming with criticism. I think what you just said is probably right. I think this is more like, hey, this is these guys' show, and we want to, I mean, this is a plan, this is talked about stuff, folks. I mean, this is calculated. This is, hey, do we want to put Tony out there with these guys? And this is probably a Tony decision. Hey, yeah, come on. Those guys will be like, yeah, come on out, right?
Sure.
But Tony's probably like, hey, this is their show. I want to make, this is coach-centric, right? This is Liam's show. They've said that, and I don't want to muddy this thing up. Is too much of a crowd? Hamby, did it surprise you at all? I mean, again, this looks very collaborative. It looks like he's going to be very involved. I just, I don't know. One time yesterday, I was like, I wonder what Baselli thought about something. I don't know even what it was in my mind. I'm like, oh, wait, he didn't talk.
Yeah.
I think it was just one of those things where I don't know exactly how much to expect him as an EVP. And I think I'm just still trying to figure out exactly what his role, I mean, not necessarily what his role is, but how public that role will be.
Well, they're not trying to hide him. I mean, they do a half-hour episode each week on Jaguars.com with him.
Yes, I've seen those.
Which is fine. Again, no criticism here, really. I don't think there's anything to criticize. More curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Lions. Well, don't they just have their GM and that's it when they do like their draft stuff, or like when they do like post-draft stuff?
Yeah,
just Brad Holmes.
Well, now they just have Holmes, and they have become just a fit. Like it went from, if you go with my whole thing on Spielman,
bring it back.
Well, the whole that started that way, and then he kind of settled back into the shadows a bit.
Sure.
Because they found their guys type of thing. You know what I mean? And maybe that's this a little bit. I think it's a little too early for this, like to play that way. But I don't know. I was kind of looking for, I didn't need a tiebreaker on Tuesday in any kind of topic. I just thought I don't know. I was kind of interested to see if he got posed a question or two and how he would answer it in a certain way. Again, he was in there. He was in the room. He just wasn't up there.
It seemed like even when they first sat down, like Liam Cohen almost just sat back.
Yeah.
You know?
It was Gladstone's show.
Because he knows that it's Gladstone's show, that every question is going to be related to or directed towards Gladstone. So it's probably one of those things where Baselli is like, I might get one question, but these guys got it.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, I don't think a huge time. I just thought it was kind of wild, kind of interesting. And I think these guys are going to be very transparent. I think they're going to be face forward, all three of them in some capacity, more than we've seen in the past. But at times, I think you also know when to take a back seat or, get out of that chair. And maybe this was just one of those times. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out when the season comes and everything else. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. And let's go into the archives presented by Republic Services. RecyclingSimplified.com. Become a better recycler in your home and in your workplace with 3 easy steps. Check out those steps at RecyclingSimplified.com. By the way, Earth Day is next week. And we will be there on Monday at the recycling facility. So recyclingsimplified.com. And into the archives we go. I found this, Austen Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Posluszny retired 7 years ago this week.
Crazy, man. I was there. First time I ever met Calais Campbell.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Blake Bortles was there. You were there. There were some former players there. Man, it's a tough moment for Puz, man, to step away from football.
Yeah, man. It was, I mean, one of the best teammates I ever had. And this guy, like, there's some people who, you play football because it's what you love and it's what you do. And then there's some people that play football because it's who you are. And Puz falls in the latter of it's who he is, man. It's how he was raised. It's how he went about his business, whether it's the off season or in season. Like, that dude just loved football. And unfortunately, a lot of times with football, you want to play the game forever, and sometimes people tell you you're not good enough, and that wasn't the case for Puz, I believe. I think your body just tells you, like, hey, man, we're trying our best here, but we got to tone things down. And I just think injuries kind of caught up with Puz a little bit, but it's not for a lack of trying to come back and make right on those injuries. One of my favorite stories about Puz is that when I was a free agent looking to sign with the team, and he had just torn his pectoral or whatever. He had surgery because I remember, like, I was following the Jaguars, obviously, and I remember him coming off the field and everything. He tears his pec, and literally he has surgery, and then like 3 days later, I see him in the gym bench pressing with, the dumbbells, like 120 pounds in one hand, bench pressing. I go up to him like, dude, didn't you just have surgery? He's like, oh yeah, I mean, I can't use this arm, I can use this arm. And he was working out. He was getting ready for next season again, man. So there's no teaching that. Like, that's just ingrained in you, man. That's just who you are. And he was a cool guy to be around.
He's a super cool human in so many ways. He does not care about the limelight, the accolades. I texted with him a little bit yesterday because I was like, hey, we're going to do the end of the archive. I saw this. Let's go talk about Puzz for a moment. Maybe we'll get him on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right? And so I was like, hey, short notice. And he's really locked into family. He does not like doing a lot of stuff anyway.
Sure.
I mean, I probably, if I ask him 10 times, he'll say yes like once. Right? He just doesn't want it, especially about him. He really doesn't like it. So, but I was like, hey, man, it'd be fun to catch up with you. I said, I know you're working. So, like, it's 10:30 in the morning or something. I'll be right now. He's like, yeah, I got a meeting. I can't make it, but thanks for asking. He's like, I can't believe it's been 7 years. And that is my favorite thing about Puzz. He's working a 9-to-5 job. The dude made $50+ million a year. Not a year, in his career. And he's working a 9-to-5 job. Now, to me, that says everything about Paul Posluszny.
Yeah, it's everything, man. Dude, if I could pick one teammate of my past to coach my son in high school football, it's Puzz. Like, I every time I see him, like, dude, are you coaching yet? Like, why are you not? And keep in mind, knowing him, like, then that would be his whole thing, because coaching's hard, man. Coaching takes a lot of time and effort. I'm sure Coach Ripley can relate to this. But I just feel like if Puzz was to do the whole coaching thing, dude, he'd be the best one because, like, he's not going to stop until he's the best one.
You're right. I think he would. I think he's flirted with it. I think you could see it someday when his kids. I think he's got mostly. I think he's got a couple girls.
Okay.
And I think when they grow up, maybe.
Okay.
I think he just knows he's dedicating this part to family time,
which is great.
I would not be surprised. Again, I don't know this. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back in because it is in the blood now. I mean, he had a hard time. I remember talking to him a year after retirement. He was like, this is hard. Like, even a year after retirement. He's like, he was finally settling in, but it was tough. I also say this. Do you think he would have a hard time playing today with today's athlete, in today's room? He's so old school, and the game has changed. We talked about that a little bit, right? I mean, has the game changed too much for him where it would almost drive him nuts to see some of the things going on today, whether it was college football and NIL or whether it's today's athlete making X amount of money? And, I think he would have trouble with some of it. I mean, he would definitely have trouble with some of it, but I still think the locker room would follow you just because at the end of the day, as long as you're performing on the field, and once again, like, Puzz was never like the rah-rah type. He was never the guy to get you amped up, but it's just like the way that he played the game, it was contagious where it's like, yeah, I see what Puzz is doing. I got to do that as well. So I think, like, yeah, maybe the more self-aware players, the drama-driven players now may rub him the wrong way, but I just think the way that he approached the game, like, I think he'd play in any time because people are going to respect him just for how much effort he put forth. I missed that is into the archives, by the way, presented by Republic Services. RecyclingSimplified.com. Earth Day coming up next week, and we'll be there talking a little bit more recycling on Monday, how you can become a better recycler. 3 easy steps. Just go to RecyclingSimplified.com. I think YB400 says, think Puzz is smart enough to adjust. Yeah, he'd be able to adjust, but he's an old school dude now. Old school. 310-FIRE, and I forget the rest of the match. You brought an interesting point up. Just go to put a bow on this. 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. You have more faith Mason Graham is going to stop it or Ashton Jeanty is going to get it? Oh, jeez. Good question. 4th and 1. I mean, man, it's a great question. I don't know. I'm stumped. I'd probably say Jeanty just because, like, it's so. I mean, yeah, the offensive line's got to block, but, like, it's more on him. Yeah. With Mason Graham, it's got to be like, okay, like, is the tackle next to you going to do their job? Yeah. So it might not be Mason Graham stopping it, but did he help stop it? Yeah. I'd probably say Jeanty. Yeah. Hamby? Does that flip your pick at all? I don't know, man. It's short down situation's a big situation, right? I wasn't listening to the question because I was trying to get to our next thing. There we go. 4th and 1. Yep. Jeanty gets it. Mason Graham stops it. I have more faith in Jeanty. Yeah. That's a good question. You're right, YB400. That was a good question. That makes you think a little bit because that short yardage deal is a big deal. Stopping that is I don't know if it's the epicenter of what the Jags' problem is, but it certainly has been a big situation. And by the way, Jeanty can't get it himself in the NFL either.
Correct.
They said he might be tough to tackle, but he can't get it himself. Gigantor, they had the man tore his pec and stayed in the game to finish the drive. I've never heard anything like that when he tore it. I was down on the sideline, and when you hear that guy yell the way he yelled, that had to hurt like a son of a. I'll never forget that sound.
I've heard it. Feels like he got shot.
It was, and he stayed in the game.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
He stayed in the game. Happy retirement 7 years later to Paul Dozier. Happy celebration to Atlantic Coast. Your buddy Chris Loftman. What a job they've done, man, with the Stingrays, huh?
Heck of a job.
They win big over Flagler Palm Coast last night to win in District 7A, and now on to the regionals. 2-year build has been a great one. Congrats to those kids. Fun moment to win that trophy and the district championship and add it to the wall there at Atlantic Coast High School. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Kinetico reverse osmosis system with a purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter first coast on your team.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customize, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Yep, I saw this too. Man, like, you talk about guys like Bob Uecker, I don't know, man, like, this one hits home. Like, Bob Barker, you know, like, there's just some people that you put in the background that you have on TV, you think they're always going to be there. And I get Lee Corso's getting up there in age and everything, right? So he was doing College Game Day sparingly, and then Pat McAfee kind of took his role a little bit of trying to be this outlandish, boisterous dude and everything. But Lee Corso's the OG, and he's announced his retirement. Going to be doing the first College Game Day. Do we know that? We don't really know what's going to be at Hamby, do we?
I don't think they would announce that yet, but it's like August 30th is the first one, so that'd be probably Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, so one more shot of Lee Corso, man. We're going to miss you. Happy trails.
Now, how old is Lee now? Is he 91 or something like that?
He's in his 90s.
Yeah, and listen, he's battled some things, obviously. I think, what did he have, a stroke years ago?
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember in the pandemic, they had him at the pool at home as well. They've really done a nice job of keeping him on the show because he's such a staple, but also kind of protecting as he ages a little bit in some of the challenges. I really think Kirk Herbstreit, who gets a lot of gruff from a lot of different things,
taking care of him.
He's done it. I mean, that relationship is cool, right? Like, I think that's a really neat thing to watch and see. And I think you can see it on set. Of course, I watch TV from a different point of view sometimes, and you can just see it. Like, I can kind of feel it and see it, and what Herbstreit's doing is just having a good feel for that is really cool. I think that's like the best show on TV and has been. I'm not sure it's as good as it used to be or whatever, but it's fine. I think if you watch live TV, if you do what we do, I think College Game Day is something that everybody in this building and across TV stations and colleges should watch. I think it's a great example of how you do TV, especially live TV. So I always give a hat tip to the folks at Game Day. I'll say this about Corso. This is the thing that gets me about Corso. And I've said this before, and I'm just fascinated by it, that you like Corso.
I grew up on him, man. Yeah. Some of my very first memories of college football was Lee Corso watching my stepdad.
And I like Corso, and I'm not like this huge college football junkie because I came from Rhode Island, and people aren't junkies from Rhode Island on college football. But he is so entertaining in that show. But what I say is, like, you can be 37-year-old Austin that loves him. Our dads could like him. I can like him. But the thing that's wild is my kid likes him. So, Hamby, you're 24 years old, and I think you like Ty, since he was like 12, does not want to miss the picks at the end with Corso.
My son's the same way now.
He's 90 years old and relating to a 12-year-old, or 85 years old relating to a 12-year-old. That to me is the beauty of Lee Corso.
To take it a step further, you know what it's going to be every time.
No, of course,
you're
man.
not
it's
surprised.
The same old song and dance, but it's a great song and it's a great dance. My son refers to him as the crazy old guy. And we'll watch College Game Day, and Ronan will go, "Hey, when's the crazy old guy coming on?" I'm like, "All right, man, we got 10 more minutes and he'll be on." I don't know, man. It's if you look at it, it's the dumbest thing. Okay, you put the headgear on, but for whatever reason, just his personality and just I think him being genuine. Listen, I like Pat McAfee a lot, but I feel like Pat McAfee tries to go above and beyond sometimes.
He forces it,
right? He forces it. I feel like Lee Corso, whether it's when he dropped the F-bomb, I think when he was at SMU it might have been or whatever, like he doesn't force anything. Like some things just come by accident, but those are like the golden things, right? I think the question going forward now with his retirement is, do they keep the headgear alive or does it go with Lee Corso?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
What do you guys think? Would you keep it going or not? Because you could keep it going and say it's a tribute to Lee Corso, or do you say no one's going to match what he did, so let's just get rid of the headgears?
I think it's like I think it's kind of like replacing a legend in sports, right, or anything else. If you could just have a gap year, you would take it. Like if Alabama didn't have to play football after Saban for a year, they'd probably take it. Like if that's when the pandemic hit, that'd be good, right?
Yeah,
because then you can get away from it. It's not so instant. Replacing Derek Jeter or replacing so those kind of things. I bet they give it a rest, or they somehow acknowledge, like, hey, remember, like they'll bring back like a Lee moment for the whole year, and then they'll feel it out and kind of reevaluate it for the foul. That's what I think. What I would do in a very short window of you asking me and thinking about it. How about you, Hamby?
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can do it right away. It just won't feel this. Anything will feel lame. Yeah. So you might as well just come up with something different or don't do anything at all.
I think one way to do it would be like if you could incorporate somehow, because College Game Day is about the fans too, right? And what they've done is they've incorporated the kicking contest. Mm-hmm. So this is my advice from an executive producer standpoint, folks in Bristol. I would somehow figure out a fun way to incorporate a fan or two, and end up with the headgear. And the fan picking one or putting it on or somehow. I don't know how you do that. Again, this is a very surface idea right now.
Sure.
But you bring the fan and attach it to Corso, and you can even call it like Corso's Corner or something. You name something after him, right?
And they do a dizzy bat competition.
Well, you can't have like a fan from each team, right? Because they would just pick their own team. So I don't know exactly how you do it, but somehow it's somebody else. You don't try to, because if it's somebody else, if it's McAfee or somebody else, you minimize it. You can't replace it. But a fan doing it can kind of commemorate it if they can figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the celebrity guest picker.
Yeah.
Because it's somebody different every week. So it's not somebody that is trying to become Lee Corso. Instead, it's the person that was right next to him in that chair.
Yeah, but the guest picker's going to be at the home. Like, you know who they're going to pick, though.
Well, that's
because they're always...
Well, some of them feel a little more neutral, but you're right. Yeah, a lot of them are pretty tied in. I don't know. So I would, again, I'd give it a rest and figure it out.
I wonder if McAfee's going to do it.
I don't know. Because do you feel like McAfee's going to be on that show in 10 years?
No.
See, that's what I would ask myself if I'm ESPN.
I think he's going to wear them. I mean, he's doing everything. I don't know.
I know. But usually, I'm just saying, he might be hosting Good Morning America in 10 years. Like, who knows, right? Like,
well, I think McAfee generally loves college game. Like, I mean, like, there's a reason why he opted to go to College Game Day over WWE because he took like the absence of leave from WWE, so he could do College Game Day. Like, I think Pat McAfee loves going to these college towns, partying with the locals and everything. I think like that's his gig, that's his dream. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pat McAfee doing the same gig, as long as he's with ESPN, obviously, for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's it. It'll be interesting.
But that's a big thing. Is will he be with ESPN for 10 years?
When you think about Brent, you said that what makes College Game Day is the fans and the dedication. Well, Austin, you sent something to me where a fan was just about as dedicated as any fan that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
He was looking like he was headed to an all-star team. Injured his shoulder in January. Had surgery, coach, and that was a major loss.
Listen to the background.
Gets himself into that number 8 spot with a chance to advance. Yeah, listen, both of these coaches in
couple more
organizations, front offices, Landry Fields, Jeff Weltman have done a great job because injuries.
I mean, no wonder Trae Young wanted out of this game.
There it is.
Despite their 5 starters missing a total of
Now that's a Hawks fan too, by the way.
It's a Hawks fan cawing.
This is a Hawks fan cawing. So every single free throw that was shot by the Magic, she did that. This Hawks fan would be cawing. And listen, you got to respect the game. You got to respect the hustle, man. She's in enemy territory, doing her thing. Now, if I was a Magic fan and I had to sit in front of that, Yeah, I'm calling security for
so
sure.
you saw who it was?
Yeah. Oh, dude, this lady was like decked out, like rocking like Hawks gear and everything.
I mean, we're about to play the Segue game in about 5 minutes, but go ahead and give me the freaking title because.
Oh, man, you got it, Hamby. Yeah, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back.
What do they have? The Vanderbilt Whistler, right? In baseball, Hamby?
I don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
No.
Oh, yeah, I think it's like the Vandy Whistler. The guy whistles the whole game, apparently.
That's annoying.
I don't know of any other
State
ones.
Cowbells?
I don't know if the other... Yeah, I guess the Cowbells, but that's more of a wide... Like, it's not like one
it's not
fan.
one person.
So... The other one that I always found interesting in terms of like what somebody does during a game, I think it's St. Joe's basketball. So what are they? They're the Hawks? Or the Owl? No, it's not Temple Owls.
St. Joe's?
Maybe it's Temple. Is it Temple? Maybe it is Temple
Owls.
So they give somebody on scholarship.
Just doing that in the back?
To do the wear the costume.
Okay.
And they do this the whole game.
Huh.
It's either St. Joe's. I forget which one it is.
St. Joseph's Hawk mascot never stops flapping
Never
wings.
stops flapping the wings.
That's crazy, man.
I think they're on scholarship and
Shoulders
they flap the wings.
Gotta be jacked.
The whole game. Do this. I'm doing this for 3 minutes and my shoulders are already hurting.
Yeah. That's wild.
Really, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Refer to themselves as Featherhood.
But that's what I think they give a scholarship for that, Hamby. And I think it's still a thing. I know it was back in the day, but that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Full scholarship.
Full scholarship. See that? You guys are getting educated
To
today.
flap your arms, man. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Stay in shape, get a scholarship.
Has appeared in more than 30 weddings, flapping all the while.
Really? Did not know that.
Going to turn into a full-time job.
So a lot of people have
this article was written back in 2014.
Okay, well, who knows if it's still a thing, but it might still be a thing.
Man.
Gosh, that seems like
2
a
hours?
punishment.
3 hours?
That's a fantasy football punishment.
Plus, if you got like those, I mean, I'm sure it's a couple.
Hey, by the way, if we lose the
win.
bet, put it on the board. We got to.
You got to flap the whole time. Show? I like it. That's a bet that I would love to see somebody pay up.
Good one.
I love it, man.
Mr. Two-Bit. Yeah, Mr. Two-Bit. That's a good thing, but it's like it's not a whole game. It's not a whole game.
I got ingrained when I got to Jacksonville. I had figured out what Mr. Two-Bit was. It's interesting, man. Dude, I mean, may rest in peace, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And obviously they've done a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
And by the way, like that's actually a good Lee Corso comp it's only for Gator fans.
Yeah.
But like they've continued that on and to have the celebrity, that'd be like the guest picker doing it.
Yep.
But again, it's very homered up in that instance. So it's I guess a little bit different.
Yep.
One last thing about Corso, by the way. Corso and Vitale, it's I'm not a big believer of power of TV and the media and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty incredible. We have two like iconic people that were in the industry and really were just like, I think, average coaches at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like they were average coaches that became these huge personalities in Corso and Vitale, and I'm probably missing some other guys, but those guys are massive in the sports world, especially the college sports world in football and basketball. What a cool deal.
Well, it goes to show you, man, like personality means
Euchre's
something.
another one, right?
Euchre's another
Now,
one, but like look at Pat McAfee.
And
Like
McAfee.
no, he's a great punter, like one of the best punters when he played.
But he's a punter.
But like he's the punter. But this guy's everywhere. Look at Tom Brady, is the GOAT. How are we feeling about him on commentary right now?
Yeah. It's different. It's a different animal, but it's pretty wild that some of the most iconic people were just okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Like at their gig.
Yep.
And that might be even being nice. Hey, we got the Segue game. Let's rock it.
That was our NBA talk for the week, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed that. No, man, we're good. No, we're never going to talk NBA in this show, everybody. We'll see you guys in the finals. Probably be the Lakers and the Celtics, and then we'll talk about Game 6 or Game 7. But if you're coming to the Brent and Austen show for your NBA news, I tried. It ain't happening. Sorry, everybody. Segue game it is. Let's go.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
We got 2 more hours to talk NBA.
I thought we had a schedule that we're supposed to keep up on.
I know, but it's 10:54.
Yeah. And if you want to check the email, Austin brings the show back in. Talk about whatever you want. What did I talk about that I want to talk about?
I thought you were coming back with the NBA. He comes back
So did I.
So instead.
Well, so did I.
It was big
But
news.
it was bigger news. I get it.
Hey, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment that I got to talk about. That was my idea.
NBA news coming up when Brent leaves.
Whatever.
Then I got to talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
I
talk about
want more on that. Why you're banned from talking about it.
Just listen to the show whenever I talk about the NBA, and you knew why he's banned. All right. Segue game. Let's get it.
All right.
We got to be nimble here.
Yeah. We gotta be something.
Austin,
What do you got?
your topic is learning a new skill
Learning a new skill.
and Nico Iamaleava going to UCLA.
Gotcha. Are we doing the timer thing again?
You will have 30 seconds. Your goal is to fill the entire time.
Okay.
And your time begins.
So I just recently got an LLC, my first year doing it, and I filed it through TurboTax, out to TurboTax or whatever like that. A little difference goes into filing taxes now that you have an LLC. It's not just, oh, hey, you put your name down, you put the profit down and everything. No, you got your business now, right? Speaking of failing businesses, let's get into Nico really quick, going to UCLA of all colleges. You said that you left Tennessee because, well, the offense you didn't really agree with. Okay, Nico, maybe they didn't agree with you because of your quarterback numbers. So you go to UCLA, where I think of offenses and I don't think of the Bruins by any means.
Neither does Maurice Jones-Drew anymore.
Yep.
That's a good way to work in your LLC, and a shout out to TurboTax, by the way.
Hit us up.
Cut the check.
Brent, ironically, your topic is tax day yesterday.
Oh, tax day.
And your sports topic is the basketball transfer portal.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Go ahead.
I used to love tax day. Most people hate tax day. I love tax day for the last, 20 years because it's the twins' birthday, which usually is a tax credit. But until now, now they're 20 years old. So now tax day isn't celebrated as much as it used to be. Meanwhile, the kids that are now getting all this cash in the transfer portal and NIL and moving on to these big schools, they better worry and learn about tax day, because that $500,000, you got to owe Uncle Sam a lot of money, and nobody tells you about that part. Get the good advice, kids. Don't forget, put some away for the USA.
Ooh, rhymed it at the end.
Baby.
I like it.
All right, Austin.
Hamby?
Worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, hey, going on. Let me think about it quick. There's so many of them. Okay.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Cam Ward saying Treylon Burks is a top 4 receiver in the NFL.
Cam Ward saying Treylon Burks is a top. I haven't seen this.
He was
Cam
asked
Ward
about
was
his
on
top
Fortnite.
4.
He was playing Fortnite.
He went Calvin Ridley 1, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Treylon Burks.
And he also gave his favorite running backs were the two backs for Tennessee, Pollard and Spears.
So Cam Ward saying Treylon Burks is okay.
Top 4 receiver. And
Gotcha.
Begin.
All right. So listen, I talked about this a couple days ago, but last week I went to go see the Minecraft movie with my son. My son thought it was like The Godfather. It was just an amazing movie. Me, who are these green people walking around with no hands, and why are they exploding? It makes zero sense. The graphics are trash. One of the worst movies that I've ever seen. Now, one of the worst wide receivers that I've ever seen is Treylon Burks. And you know who said he was actually really good in the top 5? Cam Ward. Listen, Cam Ward, you're a great quarterback and everything, but decision-making and IQ might be in question. Look for him to fall maybe out of the first round after comments about Treylon Burks.
He liked that one.
Like that.
He was proud of himself.
That one felt good.
The only thing that would have been better is if the game that the movie you watched was Fortnite instead of Minecraft.
That would have been great. Brent, surprise parties. And Mason Graham's workout video.
Oh, wow. Get him, Brent. Roast him.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. Where do we get surprise parties? Just out of the blue?
Just AI generator.
You're really going off the kid's birthday, right?
Well,
yeah, maybe. All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
I hate surprises. So here's the deal. I'm turning 50 in a few years. Don't throw me one. I don't want anybody invited to my surprise party at all. And specifically, if we do get a party, we're going to all practice the Mason Graham drill, because I think we can look like that. Looked like my neighbor mowing the lawn, took a time out, and tried to go try out for the NFL for a couple of moments. Mason Graham drill in the cul-de-sac at a surprise party that I don't want. That was terrible.
That'll be on the
that was when we draft Mason Graham. Now make sure you copy that and then play that for the show, so Mason Graham sees that now. What Brent was saying about him, please.
It looked like my 45-year-old neighbor.
Segue game. We missed you. Are we done, or are we doing one more?
One more each.
Oh, I thought we were done, man.
I know.
Austin,
it's a lot of work today.
I'm worn out.
Your fashion budget.
My fashion budget? Okay.
And the NCAA in the last hour coming out with a rule to combat fake injuries.
Wait, what?
In college football. You know how big of a deal that was?
Yeah, so they basically say, what was the actual decision?
Rule to combat. Oh, they're fighting against it. Okay.
Yes, all right.
Yep. You're good.
He thinks of combat in a different way as a UFC fighter.
For sure, you're good.
Right?
Okay.
You almost had him knocking me out. Right. Just because we didn't talk NBA.
I got so
if somebody goes onto the field to assist them, automatic timeout for that team. You
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
And your fashion budget.
Yeah.
And begin.
Listen, when we talk about my fashion budget, you all seen my shoes before, right? These are like 3 years in the making right here. I just dropped some sand on my shoes and it's all good. Don't worry about it, Brent. Needless to say, my fashion budget is at a nil, okay? It's at a 0. Every once in a while, my mom gives me a sweater, gives me a shirt, but that's about it. Speaking of budgets and speaking of 0, if I see one more player flop in the NCAA, take the NIL money away, all right? This isn't soccer. This isn't basketball. This is the hard-hitting game of football. From now on, NCAA, enforce this rule. Any flops, $0 in your NIL. Thanks for playing.
Forget about the timeout.
Kiss it goodbye.
Forget about the timeout.
Yeah, forget about the timeouts. Who cares about timeouts?
Would you go run on the beach this morning?
Of course, man. Yeah, what do you think I did? I did.
Hey, Hamby, by the way, next time we play this game, can you lower his audio down to a couple of levels?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
He's geeked up for this one now.
Always geeked up.
We got another one?
I'm looking for sand.
Oh, no.
No, it's on the table.
Go to the table.
Here. It's on the table.
Oh, I don't want to make it harder for the maid, not the maids, but sorry, man, the custodians. My bad.
We take care of them, like Vrabel said.
Yeah.
Last one, Brent. The new discovery with the Egyptian pyramids. If you haven't seen it, then you just have the Egyptian pyramids. Yes. And how your mock would do if it were me and Austin.
Can I call timeout real quick?
It.
Are you talking about the conspiracy theory about the people that were frozen in the pyramids?
No.
Okay, then I don't know what he's talking about.
I haven't heard that.
Okay.
What happened? Give us
They did all this radar work with they were cylinders 600 kilometers beneath the pyramids, because we already don't know how they made them. Everybody believes that it was a sound levitation technology that we have no idea about, because it's simply not possible. America could not build the pyramids right now.
We don't have the technology.
We don't have the technology to do it.
Okay.
So we have no idea how they did it. People believe that it was sound levitation, and then in the last week or two, they found with all this radar, 600 kilometers long cylinders underneath in the earth.
I didn't see this.
Wow.
Have fun with this one, Brent. Yikes. Hey, yikes.
All right. And you guys shocking my mock?
How you think you would do if we shocked your mock?
Oh my God.
This is the hardest one we've ever had. Brent, go and take a time out quick and gather yourself. Do you need a caddy here? You need some advice?
I might need a lot more than that, but let's give it a whirl.
40 seconds.
Here we go. I get 40 seconds. I don't know if I might want 20. Here we go. With all the sand on the table, it does remind me of the Egyptian pyramids. Always wanted to visit that. Put it on your bucket list. One of the world wonders, probably, right? Some, I think.
Absolutely.
7 world wonders, yeah. So how they built them, we don't know. How I built my mock draft, I certainly do know. And I think Austin and Hamby would absolutely hate it because they're stuck on Mason Graham, and I am not. But I would pick a receiver. I would pick an edge guy. I'd probably pick some more secondary help. Hold the offensive lineman until a little bit later on. Shock your mock Brent style coming next week.
Very, very good.
Nicely done.
That was a hard one, man. Not going to lie. That wasn't that fun.
No, I didn't know what he was talking about, man.
Yeah, when we had to get an explainer, but that was educational. We went from how long can truck drivers drive here on the show in the first hour to how did they build pyramids.
Yeah.
Pretty wide-reaching show, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little boating, and a little later, let's go fishing here on a Thursday, as we always do. So let's take a time out. Brent and Austin Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network, having some fun a week from the NFL Draft here on a Thursday in the 24/7 Network studios. Most of us know how to throw. But but you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Action Sports Jacks is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Hey, let's go fishing. Sports at actionnewsjacks.com. Send your best catches in. And as we continue to grow this segment, which is somewhat new here on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, Paul Dozier will visit with us at 11:30, coming in just a little bit. And we're actually going to try to go out on the water live today. Not with Paul, but someone else. So we'll see if we'll be able to pull that off. Technology will have a say in that. But it's a great day to be out there on the water. Great day to be fishing. Great day to go get a boat, maybe from the Freedom Boat Club as well. Lisa, the Botanista, has joined us here on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We will not make you play the Segue game that we just played.
Yeah, that was...
it's pretty intense.
Yeah, that was intense.
It's we don't know what's coming, and we have no idea where Hamby's taking it, and he put us in a puzzle.
And I might not know any of those answers.
Don't worry, we don't either.
I don't think we did either.
We just make stuff up. But glad to have you in here.
Thank you so
I got to tell you my Freedom Boat Club story. I said, I'll tell you when we get on air.
Yeah.
So we moved here in 2008, and so we're looking for a house. It took forever to figure out where to live. For some reason, we just couldn't find exactly what we wanted. But at one time, we were like, hey, we have no idea how long we're going to live in Florida. In this business, you move around a lot and everything else. So I couldn't say 17 years later I'd be here. I was like, hey, let's just go get something that we can really afford house-wise, and then let's go join a golf course and the Freedom Boat Club, and we're going to have some fun down in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way, like, my parents or whatever taught me how to, like, go make investments.
No.
But I was, like, seriously considering, like, okay, if we save on the house, we can go boating every weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, but let me tell you something. My financial planner actually coaches people to join the club instead of buying a boat because it's so much better for them financially.
I gotta believe
seriously,
that.
He's like, oh, this is great. This is so much better for
Well,
them.
I mean, the best thing about boating is having a friend that owns a boat,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
Or the Freedom Boat Club.
Yeah.
That certainly fits.
Yes. Have you ever heard the saying that they say the best day of a boater's life is the day they buy it, the day they sell it? No, we changed that.
You
The
did.
day they buy it, the day they sell it, the day they join Freedom Boat Club.
Yeah,
There you
very
go.
good. This is really, I mean, you started in 2009, co-owner.
So I
right?
actually I started in 2009 as the general manager.
Okay.
It was a corporate location, and I did such a good job
There you
that
go.
they kept hammering me literally to buy it. And so my business partner and I bought it in 2011.
Okay.
So I managed it from 2009 to 11. In September the 30th, 2011, we bought it and have owned it ever since then.
Lisa, obviously, I know what the Freedom Boat Club is all about. One of my friends is actually a member of it, and
awesome.
I take full advantage. But yeah, no, for sure. But like, for those of that maybe aren't familiar with it, haven't heard you on the radio and everything, what is the Freedom Boat Club all about? What can you do?
So it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, we say. And it's where you join as a member. And if you're a member of our club, you get unlimited, and let me say that again because it's really important, unlimited use of all of the boats that we clean, we maintain, and we take care of. So you make your reservation online or on your phone. You show up at the dock. Your boat's gassed up and ready to go. My dock staff knows your kids' names, knows your name.
Yeah.
You tell them where you're going. You do your checkout. You get out on the water. You come back. And you leave the boat and drop the keys, and that's it. And we do all the rest.
I mean, it's genius, right? Because you think about, okay, you buy a boat, then you got to buy the trailer, then you have to buy storage for it. There's so much more that just goes into than just buying a boat.
Right.
And you guys take care of all that.
Yeah. So
It's
you
cool.
don't have to go to the ramp. You don't have to trailer it. You don't
Yeah.
have to do all that.
Yeah.
And even if you keep your boat in a marina, you still have to clean it, maintain it, take care of it, take the cover off. And literally, you can have... So I have parents that have kids that are in soccer and ballet and whatever. So they'll show up in the morning and go for 2 hours, drop off the boat with us, and then go do all the rest of the stuff. Or they'll go do the stuff in the morning, come to us in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I actually have a parent where they split. The wife comes in the morning, the husband comes in the afternoon. And they've got 5 kids and they change it up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
seriously,
That's
it's-
a good way to do it.
And so it makes it so that you can weave boating into your busy day.
Yeah. And which is awesome. By the way, this time of year is terrific.
Yes, this is it. Like the weather is just so nice, and You don't have to worry about the afternoon thunderstorms and, it's cool out. The only thing I would change is I would like this cool air with the warm water.
You're not lying there.
The water's not there yet.
My son would agree with you there.
Yes,
My son loves the ocean. And we kind of had a rough day trying to do some, paddle boarding and bodyboarding.
It's still a little chilly. I think they said at Fort George it was like 71 degrees.
Okay.
That's not even spring cold.
Which sounds warm. Like 71, you'll take 71 degrees until you're in the water with it.
That's right. Try
then you
getting
have to
in.
get out in the air.
We have our Let's Go Fishing segment coming up at the bottom of the hour, and I always say this, like I love fishing, but I got to go with somebody, right? Because I don't really know a lot about it or how to do. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I think boating's kind of in a similar way for me. Like it's like, hey, this sounds great, but I don't really drive a boat.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have a boat. I don't drive a boat. So I bet that's a little bit of a barrier, right, for people to get by, but also you guys coach that up and teach that up, right?
Here's the beautiful thing. My members, actually, a lot of my members know more than a lot of boaters on the water because we teach them everything. So they take the boating course online, which they're required to do by us, not by law. And then they do at the table, learning all the rules of the road and all that and everything. We do it online. Then they get on the boat with a licensed Coast Guard captain, one-on-one training, where the captain teaches them everything they need to know and then certifies them. That's for their inshore. Then after they go out 5 times, they learn offshore. So they learn man overboard drill, what to do with the EPIRB, and all of that stuff. So they are really a lot more safety trained than a lot of people that are on the water. And here's the cool thing about it. They get unlimited access of our captains for extra training. All they do is pay for fuel. So let's just say they're out there and they're like, they want to learn how to dock like a boss, pull up in or anchor like, nobody's business. All they have to do is schedule with one of our captains, pay for fuel, and they get free training.
Brent, get out of the studio, man. Let's get on a boat and do the show.
Listen, I've told you I want to do a show from a boat. So maybe Freedom Boat Club is the place.
A full season.
We can do a show from a boat.
Not a show. I'm saying a full season of shows.
Every Friday.
Hamby, sorry, you got to push the buttons in here. My bad.
Every Friday on the boat.
There we go.
Right? We got a new segment. But I genuinely am going to do a show from a boat somewhere, sometime.
Well, I got you. We can do it.
We can do it.
We'll talk about some ideas.
You guys have a ton of locations, too. It's not just here. I mean, because I'm from Rhode Island, so I know you have one in Newport, Rhode Island. We've seen it before in beautiful Newport, but you're international now, too.
Yeah, so this is also a really cool thing. So when I started in 2009, we had one location, 4 boats, right?
Wow.
Every 10 members that join, we buy another boat, and we flip our fleet every 3 years. So the members are always getting new boats.
Interesting.
5 locations right now, 120 boats.
Wow.
And we just put 6 new Barletta pontoons at our Julington location.
Okay. Various boats, by the way.
Yeah,
so from pontoon to,
So that's here. Across the United States and the world, we have like 420 locations, including France, Italy, Canada, Australia.
Wow.
I mean, I've had members who have gone to Australia and they send pictures of them in front of the Opera House on a boat.
Wow. That's cool.
Hilton
That's
Head,
cool.
all up and down Florida. And so you get all that reciprocal use of those locations, which is, just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm a golfer. Think of being able to just go 400 different golf courses if you joined Southampton.
And Lisa, this is the question I have for you. So, like, say you join the Freedom Boat Club in Jacksonville. Are you just tied to that one in Jacksonville, or can you go to different?
No,
you can go all around, like you're saying.
So you get at your home port.
Yeah.
The home port would be any locations we open.
Gotcha.
So when we started with 1, now they have 5.
Yeah.
That's their home port.
Where are the 5?
So we have 1 in Jacksonville Beach, 2 in St. Augustine, 2 at Julington Creek, and then also, what am I missing?
No, you got it.
Oh yeah,
that was fine.
I got it all. And they get unlimited use there. They get to go 4 times a year at each and every other location. So I want to say that again because sometimes people get misconstrued. They go 4 times at all of them. No, 4 times at each location.
Yeah.
So if there's 410 locations times 4, that's
You'd be a full-time boater.
Yeah. And then some.
And
then some.
So you can go to you get reciprocal use at all of those locations.
Cool.
And, we love it, like when the reciprocals come to our location. First of all, we love to show off.
Yeah.
Second of all, we know the person's doing a reciprocal here has family here or friends here or some reason to come here. So, they're going to, share that with everybody. And so it's just an amazing way for people to get to experience that boating lifestyle. it's really good. What I see a lot is couples, right?
Mm-hmm.
One person really wants to boat and the other's like, oh, heck no.
Yeah.
You know, but now this is the solution for both of them because it's that win-win without all of the other responsibilities and
investment,
trailering
responsibility,
and all of that.
hurricane season.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh yeah. We love posting when we're taking all the boats out for hurricane. Like, hey, you guys don't have to do this. We're doing.
That's true. FreedomBoatClub.com. By the way, two more quick things.
Yes.
Lisa the Botanista. Where did that? Whose idea was that? Where did that come from?
So can I do my rap?
Sure.
Almeida is my name, and boating is my game, but you can call me Lisa the Botanista. Are you ready for some fun in the sun? Looking for boating that's hassle-free? Well, you can take it from me. At Freedom Boat Club, we insure and maintain as well as train, and we keep the boats clean, if you know what I mean. If you like to fish, we'll answer your wish. Just bring your bait. You'll never have to wait. Or if you're like me, you can always ski. So let's all sing. Let Freedom Boat Club ring. Rub-a-dub-dub. You need to check out Freedom Boat Club.
There you go.
Lisa, can you talk sports? Can we get around the show?
By the way,
can we get her a segment?
That's a new jingle game. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
We got to come up with our own jingle now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know touchdown, and I want the Jags to win, but as far as sports goes, it's not my.
But whose idea was that? Your idea?
No, I'll tell you what happened. So I love boating events and putting boating events together. We've done trips to the Jags games together, to the Suns games, all this stuff. So one day I'm talking to my ad agency, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you've got all these activities. You're like the Botanista." Like, remember the fashionista from
yeah.
So I was like, yeah. So a couple of days later, I went like, I am the Botanista. So I called her back, and I'm like, Holly, I think this is like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we do a logo and like a definition? And she's like, yeah, let us work on it. So they did a logo and they did a definition. So I advertised on 1010 XL.
Yeah.
They've been really good to us. And so Jeff Prosser said, you need to start saying everything. This is Lisa the Botanista. So I'm like, okay. So I start doing it. So I'm at a chamber event one day, and I've got my Freedom Boat Club shirt on. And I love to make really fun commercials. I
know your work quite well.
I've got
Lisa.
Good creative writers.
I know your work.
So I'm at this event, and the guy goes, "Oh, Freedom Boat Club." He's like, "Yeah, I love listening to the Botanista on 1010." I went, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "Yeah, the Botanista." I go, I'm the Botanista. He goes,
yeah.
You're the Botanista. Let me get a picture. And all this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a thing. So then I got it trademarked.
So you did trademark it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And then I knew one other time like this is a thing. One of our captains, Jeff Streif, he's a great musician. If you ever get the chance to hear him, he plays around town. And he sings and plays a guitar. And so we were at Hooters. And whenever I come in, he knows me. And he goes, hey, Botanista's in the house. And these guys were sitting there drinking. They go, hey, rub-a-dub-dub, you need to check out Freedom Boat Club. I went, buy them around right now. And I was like, this is... And so it's really cool because men connect with it, but women connect with it also.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's catchy.
just like all things boating. I'm all things boating.
It's catchy.
And it's crazy how it's just spontaneous. Some of the best things are just spontaneous in life.
Yes.
I love it.
You just tell next time you're on with our friends over at 1010, now you got to mention Brent and Austin twice. We allow you to mention them here on us. But now you just throw that logo up. See how those logo works? It's a visual instead of just the audio. It works a lot better
we all
here.
Work together.
We don't worry. We like to bust chops across the platforms. Last one.
Plus, they have tons of commercials over there. So
if you want to just listen to commercials, it'll work well over there. I
wasn't saying they were better. I was just saying I was there.
We're just messing around. The pandemic.
That's the fun. Yeah.
How much did it help this industry in general? Right.
Crazy what it did.
Yeah, because like golf and your industry, it really took off.
Here's what I love about it. It put boating back on the map.
Yeah.
It got people excited about boating, not just boat clubs, but renting a boat, buying a boat. Boating came back to life, just awesome. Mm-hmm. It was awesome for the boating industry.
Yeah, which is kind of weird to say, right? It's kind of like that pandemic time was, and you didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
But we've seen some things really.
Oh yeah, it was fearful in the beginning, but then everybody wanted to get outside, and
Well,
we should all be doing that
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And marry that, by the way, with the growth in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, which is just enormous.
It's been enormous.
In the last 10
It turned
years.
out to be an incredible blessing for the boating industry.
Yeah. That was fun. Awesome background. Good stuff. FreedomBoatClub.com. Lisa the Boatanista, glad to have you on. Stop on by again. Maybe we've just introduced a new jingle game. We're all getting it. If it worked well for you, maybe it will work well for us.
I like it, Brent. I like it, man.
I'll tell you this. When I go to networking events, people don't like going after me.
Well, Paul Dozier's coming after you next. We're going to Let's Go Fishing.
Best of luck to him.
That's coming up next. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you so
Good luck.
much.
Great to talk to you.
Pleasure to meet you.
FreedomBoatClub.com, by the way, the place to see more about Lisa the Boatanista and how you can get on the water. Great time of year to be able to do it. Hey, Shock Your Mock presented by Everbank coming up next. And Hamby, what do you got for us? I don't know if I put you on the spot too much. And is there a way to get on Doctors Lake with Freedom Boat Club? That's a good question. I wonder if I could have asked that. If I were going to continue to expand, we will see. But Shock Your Mock, here's what we're doing. We're getting down to the quarterfinals coming up on Monday. Yesterday, we picked a couple of winners, and we will pick a couple more today. I think a couple more tomorrow. Hamby's picking a couple. That will get us to our 8. We'll go quarterfinal Monday, Tuesday, semifinals on Wednesday, championship on Thursday, prizes to be won. Look at the chat. We don't mind the competitor mentions.
Oh, yeah. I got to be careful what I say, too, because
we kind of have fun. You know, actually, you're on there later. Listen,
I'll be on there today.
Austin's going to be on there today.
Freelancing, though, man. Freelancing.
It's just funny. We like to have fun with it. You're on happy hour today.
Yep, I'm on Jaguars happy hour today.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
So you and JP today?
Nope, it'll be me, Jeff Lagerman, and I think Brian Sexton.
Oh, Sexton. Okay.
Yeah.
So Logs is joining
rotation.
the fight today.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Old school, new school.
I think we might have.
Shocked. Oh, okay.
There we go.
I am shocked. I am shocked. That's what I mean. I am appalled.
Because you guys wouldn't figure it out. Figure it out.
Hey, you need to get off Kirk Cousins. And being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
9. Cannot sleep on Kurt.
Figure it out.
Even for the internet, it's pretty shocking.
Mel, talk to me.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Figure it out.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Figure it out.
He's got a huge trunk, though.
Duval.
I feel shocked.
Jack Chagrin.
I feel shocked.
Jack Chagrin.
I feel shocked.
Duval.
With that, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
All right, here we go. What do we got? Let's do it. We're going to rip through this one.
Y'all are both picking one.
Woo! We got some good listeners here, good viewers. And we can't play favorites.
I'm surprised the stream didn't shut down with Coach Ripley's up here with the bandwidth being used. Love you, Coach Ripley.
You could have a bunch of Whataburgers while you're consuming that giraffe.
Yeah.
16 picks.
Yeah.
16 picks. Hey,
I mean, hey, I like some of them though.
But we got a second round next year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, Brent, what are you liking, man? What are you liking here? What are you
Coach Rip
taking?
giving me a headache. I mean, listen, if you get me Travis Hunter, Max, I love you. And by the way, I think there's some extreme value here with what is going on. See, Travis Hunter as a cornerback, I still think you'd use at wide receiver too. You get defensive tackle, you get the interior, you get your future center in a Jared Wilson. You can still beef up the line. I don't care that much about Dylan Fairchild, but offensive linemen at Georgia seem to be good. And then I would even go to pick 142 there, R.J. Harvey, man. I mean, that would be a hell of a pick at 142. Hard not to like that draft if you could get it that way.
And bench at 107 is the latest I've seen.
For Harvey?
Jack's Beach.
Oh, for Jack's Beach. Okay, yeah. And there's a lot of quality. Well, I don't know who you
Kenneth Grant too may go first round. I mean, yeah, it's a good list there,
but
Brent.
And again, Travis Hunter has to fall. But hey, listen, if it happens, I'm
take it. You going Max Holmes?
Yep.
All right. That's fair. I have my eye on that one as well, but I do like Glenn C. You're addressing the wide receiver position. You traded back for it. Not mad at that. Walter Nolan can kind of come in and provide, whether it's going to be depth or a starting position, but he's going to be in the rotation. I like that. You get an offensive tackle there. You get Maxwell Harrison, who will probably go a lot sooner than pick number 70, but one of the fastest dudes at the combine. So you address the need at cornerback. You got the edge in Josiah Stewart. I think for bang for your buck, Brent, I think you address the most needs with Glenn C., so I'm going with him.
All right, Glenn C. How about that? A little love.
Welcome to the second round.
Walter Nolan, by the way. A lot of people like that pick at Ole Miss, if you can get that, too, you mentioned. So, all right, hey, that's 2 more into our quarterfinal. We'll keep going and settle this thing next week. Have some fun with Shock Your Mock, presented by Everbank. All right, we got to take a break. Let's go fishing when we come back, presented by Nimick Buick GMC. Once again, send us your best catches to sports@actionnewsjacks.com, and we'll have the segment each and every Thursday right here on the Brent and Austin Show. You can find it on social media as well. Paul Dozier visits next. We are going to try to go to the water. Paul says, yes, we are.
All right.
Gave me the head nod.
I like it.
Now, we'll see what we can control, but this could be a lot of fun. Coming up next on the Brent and Austin Show.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter, First Coast, a call at 904-417-3557. Or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter, First Coast, on your team.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand. Wait on a sign above, and I am ready, ready. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game. The crown's for the tape. I got it. Iconic. I'm built to win. Back to back, I do it again. I'm iconic. I'm one of a kind. I'm iconic. I'm built to win. I'm one of a kind.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandalwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show. Ashton Jeanty, man, kind of a hot commodity right now, kind of a hot topic. According to some sources, he is now a favorite, a minus favorite to go in the top 5. So I'm not sure if there's some Jacksonville smoke. I'm not sure if somebody wants to trade up for Ashton Jeanty, but he is the hot name right now going around NFL circles, and I guess he's quite the fisherman as well. Let's go fishing, joined by Paul Dozier. Paul, largemouth bass here?
That's Travis Hunter, by the
way.
Oh. You're supposed to.
That's Travis Hunter.
He's so locked in, Paul. Dude, he's so locked in on Ashton Jeanty.
It says Ashton Jeanty. All I can see is Ashton Jeanty's name.
Read at the top.
I can barely see it from here. Okay, yeah. Why Travis Hunter is the biggest. Okay. Missed it by that much. Hey, Hamby, if I say Ashton Jeanty, maybe tell me it's Travis Hunter. It's all good, though, man. No worries.
I thought you were segueing into
let the fishing expert tell you about the football player.
Yeah, I guess so, man, right? Who you telling? Well, I mean, were those bass, though? Was he holding?
Those were bass.
At least I got that part right, huh?
Baby.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Is Travis Hunter a big fisherman?
I don't know, but I saw that on the front of the magazine this morning. I was like, hey, we're about to go fishing with Paul Dozier. Yeah. I got to bring that one up.
I did not see all I saw was Ashton Jeanty, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
It happens.
It did say Ashton Jeanty in your defense.
It did.
I saw that.
But, me, when it comes to reading comprehension, Paul, not my strong suit, man.
Me too, buddy.
Math and reading comprehension.
And my son got it from me, too. He's got the same issues you and I do. So.
How old is your son again?
He is 11. Just turned 11.
Do you have conversations about school? Because my son's at the age now where it's like, why do we have to do? Because this is Generation Y, Paul. The kids are going to question everything. Why do I have to learn about math? Why do I have to do this? I have a phone. I have a calculator. Do you have those conversations with your son?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't. But
yeah.
Quite honest, if we're going to be honest here, I was the kid that struggled through school and had a tough time getting out of high school. And my wife was a University of Florida honors graduate, and
there you go.
She does the schoolwork, and I do the playing outside and throwing the football.
I like it, man.
She does that too.
Yeah.
She's smarter than. I guess it's fair to say she's smarter than me. So she handles the studies and. Unfortunately for her, we've got one Paul and one Lauren. So
yeah,
our son is like me. All he wants to think about is fishing and playing outside, and the daughter's like Lauren. It comes easy to her. It's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have we're all blessed to have our strengths and weaknesses, and my strength was not school.
So when you talk about your kids, do you have the kids drive the boat? Because I remember being a kid driving my grandpa's truck. Right, that was like the rite of passage, right? Yeah. That's like closer to becoming a man.
Bradley loves driving the boat. Bradley loves running the boat, and I've even let him, a couple years ago, drive the boat to put it on the trailer. And he's obsessed with trailers and trailer hitches and boats and all the things. So yeah, he's probably he can drive it a lot better than a lot of adults, quite frankly.
Okay,
but,
impressive. If you're going to teach me how to drive it, because I mean, I've never driven. I've been on many boats. Like I said before, my friend, he's a sponsored fisherman and everything. Never driven a boat though, Paul. How long before you would feel comfortable with me taking your boat out?
It depends on which boat.
Now, keep in mind, I've driven an F-350 for a while through Bozard.
And
so
depends on what you're drinking that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Water.
That's right.
We'll drink some water.
You know, I think a boat, believe it or not, a single-engine boat's harder to drive than a twin-engine boat. And the bigger the boat, like the big sport fishing boats, they maneuver better than a small boat because they have a lot more tonnage and the bigger propellers. And so, you know, probably a week or so's training, you could probably drive a 50-foot twin-engine diesel boat and feel comfortable putting it in a slip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hamby, you driven a boat before?
Once and not far, but I was just in the inlet over here.
Did you park it?
I did not park it.
Okay.
We transferred over the sticks, and I left that to my buddy who owns it.
The professionals.
Whose family owns it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did you hear anything from Captain Jason there, Hamby? Anything come through?
Yeah,
there?
we got a special
working on
feature
him.
today, hopefully.
We're working on him. We should have him relatively soon.
Okay. He texted me that he tried, so that's why I asked. This is good radio, I'm sure.
Well, no, but Paul, to take us through what we're trying to do here, man. It's kind of a special segment we're trying to get.
Yeah, this would be really cool if we can pull it off. A good friend of mine who's one of the top charter captains, probably the top big boat charter captain in Northeast Florida, Captain Jason Hadges on J-Hook Fishing Charters. He's fishing 60 miles offshore of St. Augustine right now, and he's got Starlink, and he is trying to video in so we can do like a live segment from 60 miles offshore, which is probably something that's never been done. It's pretty cool. And
what is he trying to get? What is he fishing for?
He's fishing he's catching mahi right now. He's in 1,200 feet of water. He just texted me all this as I was walking in.
Okay.
And he's caught about a dozen nice mahi so far. And if he gets real lucky, he could catch a blue marlin out in 1,200 feet. You don't ever know. You catch anything out there. But, yeah, the edge of the Gulf Stream's out there. There's some unique water features which made him go out there, and you know, it would be really cool if we could make it work. But he's a good guy. You know, we've talked about it before. You know, everybody's dream of owning boats. If you took a nice charter, you know, once a quarter or something, you'd have a lot more success fishing than trying to learn it on your own. And at least if you did want to learn on your own, learning for somebody like this is awesome. He's captain of a 55-foot luxury sport fishing boat, and it's really cool.
When you talk about a blue marlin, I mean, you know, we talked about before, like the fight and everything of it, and I've only seen videos. I've never been on a boat that it's actually caught a blue marlin before. I mean, what is that battle like? And when I talk about a blue marlin, I'm talking about like a full size, like doesn't want to go type of blue marlin, Paul. Like, what kind of arm strength do you need? What kind of cord do you need? I mean, what goes into trying to reel one of those big blue marlin into your boat?
Well, it depends. You know, a lot of the guys these days are using lighter tackle.
Okay.
And basically you use the boat, you hook it on let's say a 30-pound outfit, and you chase it down with the boat and you catch it fairly quick. Let's say 10 or 15 minutes or less. The fish comes up jumping on top. You chase it down. You grab the leader. A technical catch in the bill fishing world is when the leader gets to the rod tip, the mate grabs the leader. That's considered a release.
Okay.
And it's thought to be, it's not thought, it is better for the fish. You can fight the fish for 5 or 10 minutes. You get the jumps out of it. It jumps around. You chase it down. You get it up there, and you let it go. You cut it loose, whatever. And they're using circle hooks, so they're getting hooked in the corner of the mouth. When I was a kid growing up, we used big 80s and 80-pound class outfits and big lures and big giant hooks, and you drag on. It's basically a drag and snag type thing. You hook them, and you kept the boat moving, and they stretch you out, and you fight them for a lot of times a bigger one, hours, you know, and they get straight up and down. It's man on man, and it's not good for the fish. The fish gets spent and comes up brown, and you try to revive them, but who knows what the survival rate is. Okay. So that's less popular these days. But, you know, if you're trying to catch a big one, and try to catch a big one for a tournament, like there's some tournaments all up and down the East Coast with millions of dollars of prize money, you're going to use those big rods and reels because you want to catch the big one. Because the reality is, if you get a 600-700 pounder on 30-pound test, you're not gonna be able to boat the fish. You might get close enough to get the picture.
I got you.
But being able to gaff the fish and harvest the fish is not likely.
So when we talk about fish like that, because you've said the big fish that you've caught before and everything, but like has there like when you deal with like a blue marlin for instance, and like you hook it, is there the risk of you're battling it for like an hour or whatever, and all of a sudden that just whatever reason line breaks or all the time? So how frustrating can that? I mean, have you endured like what are some of your most like horror stories in terms of fishing where you think you had one, but all of a sudden he's not there anymore?
Well, it's happened multiple times. You know, in tournaments, you fight a fish for a long, long time, and you get him up, and you're about to get the picture, and you're about to let the fish go, and the fish turns the wrong way, and the hook pulls out. I mean, I could think of a particular time, but I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, you hear it all the time because in these tournaments, I'll be going to one not this coming week after next in the Bahamas. And when you hook up, you have to call it in. So let's just say, J Hook's hooked up and they have a blue marlin on, and then you call in the release time, or you boated the fish, or you give the end result. I can't tell you how many times, probably 25% of the time when somebody hooks up, they say, oh, we pulled the hook, it jumped off, it's gone, we broke it off. So, just because you hook it definitely does not mean you're going to catch it.
Yeah.
And, and they don't call the hook up until you've got the fish hooked. So many times you miss them on the bite, They come in there and try it. It takes a little bit of skill, especially with the slider tackle and circle hook stuff.
Talk to me about the fishing protocol then of going after one of these trophy fish. Like, can you pass the pole to somebody else if you get too tired? And can somebody else be responsible? Or is it like if you hooked it, it's your responsibility to get up to the boat?
Not in a tournament. In a tournament, in a tournament, there's IGFA, International Game Fish Association rules, which is for tournament angling. A lot of tournaments go by it, and it's pretty strict. And it says you have to have a certain length of leader, a certain type of hook set, and the original angler has to be the angler throughout. A lot of the tournaments have gotten a little lax on that, where they'll say, okay, the mate or somebody else, if you have a novice angler or a novice, then maybe the mate or the another guy can hook the fish and immediately hand it to somebody else to catch the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you think about it, these owners, a lot of these guys have to work a lot. They don't get the repetitions. They don't get and they don't want to stand there, and it might not be as fun. What we were describing before, the lure fishing, where basically the fish hooks itself, the fish jumps on there, you hook him, then basically there's not much skill involved. But the way that they're fishing these days, it's a little harder to hook the fish. So that's becoming more and more popular, the hook in hand, they call it. But you can't fight it for an hour, then hand it to somebody else. That's the...
Got you. Hamby, how are we looking on the water there? Are we going to be able to get the...
He was in for a second. I think we're still going to... But, Paul, I wanted to ask you this. We've been having people send in some of their best catches to us.
Yeah, let's see them.
And we got this one in.
Oh,
and we got, it sounds like first of all, Shane Gillis is there on the left.
Looks like Shane Gillis, yeah.
But two nice beards and two nice catches.
Yeah, we got that's a big redfish there. The one on the right, and that looks like a speckled trout, a gator trout, are probably there on the left. A fantastic fish, both of them. That redfish looks really nice. It looks like it might be a little too big, but hey. I'm sure it was 27 inches. That's a heck of a trout, though. That's a heck of a trout.
Wow.
They, I believe this was caught during a Wednesday night fishing league.
Yeah.
Are those common? Is that a thing that a lot of people participate in?
Yeah, during daylight savings time, every Wednesday night they have I think 15 or 20 guys, 15 or 20 boats get together and they go fishing for a couple hours, and it's pretty popular. I think they go from boat ramp to boat ramp. I'm not sure. That would be something cool to maybe get a report on our Thursday segment. Maybe they can give us the results from the Wednesday night thing. But yeah, these guys have a good time with it. I think they start at like 5:30 or 6, and they have to be back at dark. So
we got any other pictures?
Yeah, I think I got one more here. It might be from the same group. Let me see. By the way, you can send all of your pictures to sports@actionnewsjacks.com. I believe this is a similar one here.
Same guy, similar catch. A nice trout and a nice redfish there. It looks like maybe the where is that? The Palms Fish Camp? Maybe, I don't know. Hard to tell. But yeah, like I said, every Wednesday, I think they do it during daylight savings times, which makes sense. So after work fishing. They used to have bass tournament that was pretty famous over at Whitey's every Wednesday after work. So.
Paul, we got beautiful weather coming up this weekend, man.
Yes.
If you check the forecast, I mean, just because it's beautiful weather doesn't mean it's going to be good fishing inshore and offshore. What are we talking about for this weekend in terms of the weather for fishing?
The weather, we're going to have a southeasterly breeze, 10 to 15 knots. It might be a little bit choppy for the smaller boats. I think it's fishable. Okay. But it's going to be a little choppy, but it sounds like the fishing offshore is good. The dolphin, which are mahi, old school, we used to call them dolphin, but then people think we're killing flipper, but we're not. We're not.
Where does that name come from?
I don't know. They've just always been known as dolphin to me.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, dolphin fishing, the next 30 to 45 days should be that should be everybody's target. And when you catch dolphin, you also have a good chance to catch a blue marlin because that's what they eat. They like to eat tuna and dolphin. The blackfin tuna fishing has been really good around the ledge, which is 50, 60 miles offshore. And I actually was over at Strike Zone Fishing a few minutes ago, and a gentleman told me that one of the charter boats was cobia fishing on Monday, only 15 miles offshore, and caught several nice blackfin tuna 15 miles off of St. Augustine. So, live bait, you never know what you're going to catch. They're live bait and trying to catch a cobia. It's that time of year, rays. There's Spanish mackerel on the beach. There should be some rays and cobia coming up. But southeast winds should bring some warmer water in here, which should help everything.
You say tuna, and all of a sudden, obviously my mouth starts watering a little bit here. Is there when you catch a fish and you obviously you plan to eat and everything, is there any other fish that are hard to maybe cut up and everything, or is it mostly the same? Are all fish built the same? I guess is the question. Or
I mean, some of them are easier than others.
Which one do you dread to try to fillet and everything?
Triggerfish is a hard fish to clean. But once you know how to do it, it's fairly simple. But you need a certain type of knife, like a shorter bladed knife. Inshore, sheep's head are difficult. They got a huge rib cage. Okay. And cobia is not the easiest fish to clean. They're a lot of head and a lot of bones, and you don't have that good a yield. But it's excellent table fare as well.
Gotcha. Hamby, got anything else?
Yeah, Paul, last time we were here with you, we talked a lot of Gators basketball.
Yeah.
And obviously the goal of Golden & Co. is to rebuild the roster, especially the guards, because you're replacing all three of those. And they got a big splash yesterday with this guy right here, Xaivian Lee from Princeton. Is that a big pickup for y'all?
It seems like it. Number
Everyone's
three guy in the portal, I mean, I saw some of his highlights. It's just after what Chaz Lanier did with UNF, you're certainly not going to poo-poo the smaller schools coming to the big schools and stuff like that. Yep. And I think I also saw that the UNF guy signed with Indiana.
They sent out a couple guys now.
Yeah, from UNF. Number 55, I can't remember his name right offhand, but.
Here it is right here.
It's just wild now how we, back in the day, it was
two of them
All-Americans from out of high school, right? And if you get a couple All-Americans out of high school for your basketball team, you're doing well. And now it's all about the transfer portal, man. Whether it's guys from Princeton, guys from Iona, last year for the Gators, or, guys from UNF, man. It's wild how that game has changed now.
Austin, actually, we want to ask you one more thing. But real quick, Paul, are you able to
he's I told him to try it one more time. He's tried it twice. We got through once. The second time, so he says his Starlink's acting up. So he did try to call me, but I obviously can't take the call.
All right, all good. Well, we will await that. Yeah, he popped in for just a second because we're attempting some groundbreaking things here.
If you want to come in here, I'll put his number in your phone. You can text him and try to help expedite this thing if you want.
I think there's nothing I can do on this end.
Yeah.
But while we get on that, Austin, we talked to Driscoll for an hour.
Of course.
Was that 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yep. Almost had me in tears, man. That was a good conversation.
Yeah. And do you think that a guy like Driscoll cares necessarily, or maybe just take Driscoll out of it, but these coaches at mid-majors and all this, they're glad when their guys not only go to places, not only get compensated, not only hopefully more so playing time and get taken care of. Do you think they care necessarily about the specific school? If Do they prefer that it's a team that's a little bit further away that they won't have to play?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, out of the division is one thing, but I think at the end of the day, like I think Driscoll is a great dude, but he's also a realist. And when we talk about mid-major coaches, you have to know what it is now, right? Like, if you're going to have talented players and you build them up and you recruit them and you teach them how to play the game of basketball the right way, and they average 20 and some change a season, you're probably going to lose them. It's almost like you being a great coach at the mid-major level kills you because you lose those great players that you help bring up. Go ahead, dude.
I almost wonder if these coaches like Driscoll are going to say, you know what, this is not fair. It's not fun. He'd rather just be an assistant at Baylor,
at a bigger school.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you just go? I'll just go be an assistant at Indiana or whatever, and I'll probably make more money. And I mean, it's the same thing with football. You know, you think about the Antonio Brown played for Central Michigan. That would never happen. These guys do their work. They do their homework. They find a diamond in the rough, and they recruit them. And then they find the good guy, and then in 1 year he's going to ball out, and then somebody's going to come take him. And it just doesn't seem – this system in college sports right now is so broken. It's disgusting, really. I mean, I'm sure Driscoll puts on a great he's a great man by all accounts, and and Jeremy Mincy is a good man too, or Justin Mincy. Jeremy Mincy played for the Gators, I think, but Dolphins coach, JU's coach. But it's got to be just terribly frustrating, you know. Yeah. I believe their guy was going to FSU, I was told, and Robert McCray he's going to FSU, and like I said, these guys find college too. Even the UCF type, they get a stud, they're going to transfer. Now they've got a little more money than.
It's almost, and I'm not sure what Coach Driscoll's plans are if he loves Jacksonville, if he wants to stay here. But now, like, if you look at what Dusty May did at what was it, FIU? No, I'm sorry, FAU. Yeah. And then you had the guy from McNeese.
Yeah,
like
Will Wade.
You almost have to have it now where you have that one flash in the pan year to get your name out there, or else you don't have a shot to elevate yourself in the coaching role. Like, you're going to stay where you're at the mid-major college. I mean, you look at what UNF is losing now. Do we give any kind of credit at all to the type of player that Coach Driscoll has brought in? Like, I get maybe you haven't won the conference championships, but, like, look at who he's lost. Like, I think recruiting is still a part of it, and in terms of recruiting, Driscoll's doing a great job. I think, can we go out to the water, Hamby, real quick?
Let's see if we can do it. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Big skipper.
Oh,
no,
we had him.
Whoa.
Oh, that was him.
Had it for a second.
That was him. I saw
it. Worked for a second.
How far out is he?
He's 60 miles out there. Okay. Looks like it was a little choppy, too. A little choppier than the forecast called for.
All right. Well, Hamby, we get a call. We get to try it one more time.
I think give him one more minute.
Give him one more minute. All right. Well, then let me ask you this then quick, Paul. You asked my opinion about the draft. Jaguars draft. What do you got?
You know, I think this is I think we've all said big guys for since the season ended. I think that's been the weakness of this team on both sides of the ball. I think as you get closer to the draft, you see the pretty girl at the end of the bar. I think everybody's looking at the wide receivers, the flashy. There he is. Again.
We're back. All right.
There he is, Cap. How you doing?
Hamby, can you hear us?
I don't know if he can hear us. Maybe he can just show us around.
Can you hear us, Jason? Any luck?
Maybe not.
Okay. Oh, look at that. We're fishing there. Here we go.
60 miles out.
60 miles.
Look at that water. Look at that. See that? That's a weed line right there in the background, guys. That's probably the edge of the Gulf Stream that he's showing you. That's where the dolphin, the mahi, that's what he's fishing.
Okay.
And he's trolling here. And like I said, he's caught. That's a beautiful condition. I was wrong about the weather. It's gorgeous weather. It's really nice. Really makes me a little sick that I'm not out there with him.
A little envious.
Yeah. You talk about FOMO. I'll probably have a better lunch than he's having, but other than that, he's having a better day than we are. I get to hang out with you guys, but
yeah, sorry.
No,
consolation prize over here.
jhookfishing.com is his website. If you guys want to go charter fishing, I'm serious. He's as good as it gets, and we'll work on getting this done. I think we're having a little bit of Starlink issues today, but Jason's first class 55-footer. That might be a good thing for you to go on there one day.
Bigger the better for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Little AC?
A little AC, a little where I don't feel the boat rocking that much. I might get a little queasy, Paul. But yeah, I'm down, man. Let's get out there.
Yeah.
That's jhookfishingcharters.com. jhookfishingcharters.com.
And we got the old school Kingfish Shootout in June. Keep in mind as well.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate that. OldSchoolKingfish.com. This guy says we want them athletic fat guys. Yeah, we want. That's what I used to tell the people. We want. When it comes to fishing, we don't want short fat fish. We want fish like me, long fat.
I like. Amen to that, man. Paul Dozier, thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade. Action Sports Jacks is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw.
but you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
You might ask what this video is and why it's relevant to the Jags, and this is because it's all about Kyle Pitts, Austin's favorite fantasy football player ever. We talked a lot about yesterday. Gladstone saying you got to sit with the pick, and when you send it in, how do you feel? Austin loves every time that he sends in the pick in his fantasy draft, and it's Kyle Pitts. I just want to bring this up to you as a new stat for you, Austen Lane. Kyle Pitts was number 41 of 43 tight ends at getting open per tracking data, and he had a career low 1.34 yards per route run.
Yeah, hey, man. It is what it is. I didn't need him this last season. Won a fantasy football championship without him. Shout out to Travis Kelce taken in the 3rd round. By the way, Travis Kelce really made me sweat this fantasy season too, because didn't have necessarily his best year. Yeah, I mean, I'm off the Kyle Pitts train. I said this obviously when the season started. I wasn't going to do it this year. It was a sickness. I had a disease. There was an intervention. And I finally talked myself out of drafting Kyle Pitts, and it paid dividends for me because Lord knows I wanted him. Like, I mean, you got Kirk Cousins because that was going to be a good idea. You got rid of Arthur Smith. That was going to be a good idea. Who you got as a backup? Jonnu Smith? It's all actually no. Jonnu Smith wasn't there this year. Was Jonnu Smith in Atlanta this year?
No.
Where was he?
Who was the backup tight end then for Atlanta?
By the way, we bring in Casey Kurtz.
Well, I was going to get to him in a second.
Jonnu Smith was good wherever he was.
He was in Miami.
He was in Atlanta the year before, right?
He was, yeah, because that's when Arthur Smith felt the need to run jet sweeps with Jonnu Smith for 80 yards a pop.
Who was their backup tight end?
I don't know. Casey Kurtz, good to have you in. Brent's out. Casey's in. That's how we do the things on the show, just a little rotation.
Yep.
Shout out to Paul Dozier for coming through. I mean, did we make history by showing, an offshore
That's crazy,
fisherman for a minute?
All right, so a couple things with that. You ever really consider how far 60 miles is? Like, just on land.
I mean...
Like 60 miles from, where we're sitting. What's far away from here? What's roughly 60 miles from here?
Gainesville?
Nah, I don't think so, but let's try. University... Oh, that's North Florida. That's Arkansas. Why did it give me Arkansas?
I mean, all I know is what I had by not compete for the old show.
Oh.
I couldn't work 60 miles within, the radius of Jacksonville. And by the way...
That's foul.
By the way... It's a distance, Casey. Yeah, it's a long ways.
So the University of Florida is 86 miles away.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, but that's
so I
also...
went to Gainesville, did a podcast.
That's not really a straight line, though, because it's following the roads. But basically, roughly Stark is 60 miles away.
Which is way out.
Which is an hour away.
Yeah.
That's how far bro is away from land.
From civilization.
That's far.
So have you ever been, I've been on the Great Lakes and everything, salmon fishing. You ever been just in the middle of the deep blue with nothing around you?
Yeah, my dad's a fisherman.
Okay. See, it's kind of a trip though.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're you are in never getting found territory.
Well, yeah, cell phones though, and
you are no. They'll find your boat. When you get eaten by a shark, you're not being found. There will always be the question of what happened to Casey and the people on that boat. Yeah. They got eaten, but Casey we don't know that for sure.
What happened?
Now, I was thinking while that was happening, not 60 miles out. There's no scenario. I'm going 60 miles out. Also, how long does that take in a boat? Hours, right?
Think about it. A boat can go what?
2 hours, I think. It can probably go 20 to 30.
Yeah, but I agree with that. 20 to 30 I agree with, but you're cooking at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's bouncy
you gotta
and
sit
windy.
Down. Yeah.
And if you're not good with boat stuff, like you said, you might get a little queasy.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not going 30, I'll tell you that.
No.
Because Austin's not going to make it.
We're going to go a respectable 15 miles per hour.
So now we're talking.
It's going to be just a slug pace there.
So now we're talking 4 hours to get out there.
Yeah.
4 hours back. That's
Sun
an
up,
8-hour
sun down.
day.
Sun up, sun down. Well, dude, I distinctly remember when I went on I think it was Lake Michigan. When I went on Lake Michigan salmon fishing with my friend who's, he's a musky fisherman, but this guy's legit. I got up at, I want to say 4 o'clock in the morning to meet him like by 4:30 to go on the water by the time the sun came up.
Meanwhile, that's the middle of Hamby's day. It's like,
yeah,
4 a.m., perfect.
Hamby's been up for a while with those hours.
Yeah, that's foul though. Still.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was thinking about this while he was talking. What do you say, Wednesday night fishing league?
Yeah,
we should get in on that. Does anybody have a boat? Could you imagine?
We can.
Us and Brent.
We can talk to Lisa the Bone and East and rent one.
Could you imagine us out?
We can do that, Hamby, right? Can't we go to a Freedom Boat Club and get in a fishing tournament? It'll pay the membership off itself.
I think we should do that. Could you imagine?
Who's driving the boat?
Kodak. Whoever gets certified by
Kodak Black. Let me drive it.
Kodak Black.
You see that video?
I have seen that video. Yes. Yep.
Anyway, I thought the 60 miles out thing was wild.
Casey, I'm not sure if you've been following, the draft smoke, the draft rumors, and everything.
Yeah.
But Ashton Jeanty's a guy who's getting a little more love now. So much love that I thought he was Travis Hunter on the Sports Illustrated cover, but nevertheless,
he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
So Travis Hunter is.
Oh.
But underneath Travis Hunter's big mug is Ashton Jeanty. Can you put the picture back up again, Hamby? If you got it on you. If not, it's all good. But yeah, I understand I messed up. I messed up completely. And I know they look a lot different. But the way the article was, you see when I made the mistake?
I do.
You see, because it's right underneath the fish. So I'm like, that's Ashton Jeanty. Because that's where you usually put who the player is, right there.
No, I get that. No, but it does say plus. Plus.
I see it. Well,
Ashton Jeanty.
Hey, I can't see the plus part.
It also says, not to get on you, but it also says why Travis Hunter in bold and colored is the biggest fish in fisherman in the
Now keep in mind where I'm sitting and what the screen looks like. Okay, like I had this here, so I couldn't really see everything.
Okay.
But I didn't see the plus Ashton Jeanty. All I saw was Ashton Jeanty, something about return, and that's all I got. My mistake. Nevertheless, Ashton Jeanty right now.
It's a good cover.
If you want to buy into the Jaguars hype, he's moved up the odds, Vegas odds. This is according to Bovada. I'm not sure where Ashton Jeanty started at, but right now the list is as follows: Mason Graham minus 155 as the fifth round or the fifth pick overall for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Sure.
Jalon Walker plus 400. You got Membo plus 480.
Okay.
And then at plus 600 is Ashton Jeanty.
Huh.
Casey Kurtz, would you be mad if the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Ashton Jeanty?
Yeah.
You would.
What's the point?
Because production.
So what do they do with the other two running backs? They drafted in the first round in this.
Oh, no. I mean, listen, if you bring in Jeanty, ETN's all but gone.
Sure.
Austin, what do you call a guy who leads the SEC in rushing?
I don't know. Is it good?
I'd say that's production.
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going.
Production? Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's a fourth round running back, maybe fifth.
Okay. Is he Ashton Jeanty?
No.
Did he almost win a Heisman? Should he have probably won the Heisman?
Dylan Sampson didn't almost win the Heisman.
I'm saying okay, that's my point. Ashton Jeanty, if you want to look at the numbers, there was an argument for him to win the Heisman.
I'm sure. But is he 5 rounds better than the SEC's leading rusher?
Give me, and once again, I don't have the list in front of me, so this might be a horrible call by my part.
I like where this is going.
Because Ron Dane comes to mind, and that didn't really work out well. Ron Dane played for the Badgers back in the day, Hammy. I don't think he even born yet.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a Heisman running back that didn't do well in the NFL besides Ron Dane. And I'm sure there's more guys out there, but I have
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush?
He counts. He counts.
Yeah.
He didn't have a good NFL career. Not for a first rounder.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a Hall of Fame. I gotta go back to this Reggie Bush's stats and everything. If I
You told me yesterday that Mark Ingram
was good.
Austin said yesterday that he wasn't worth taking in the first round. So if he wasn't, then Reggie Bush definitely won.
Yeah, I'm not taking Mark Ingram number 5. And I'm not taking Reggie Bush number 5. Sure. Didn't say they weren't good running backs. Said I'm not going to take him number 5.
Reggie Bush was a better collegiate running back than Ashton Jeanty is.
Ooh, beef.
No? Reggie Bush wasn't better in college than Ashton Jeanty?
He had the highlights. I don't know what the stats say, Hamby. All right.
I have a better question, actually. So you said about Mark Ingram, you would not take Mark Ingram as the 5th overall pick.
No, I would not.
But if
I mean, in retro, listen, out of college, who knows?
No,
I don't remember.
I'm not arguing that point. But what I am getting at here is Mark Ingram ended up playing 156 games.
Sure.
8,000 yards, 65 touchdowns.
Yeah. So here's my issue now with Mark Ingram.
Okay. Because if Ashton Jeanty did that.
No, but I think Ashton Jeanty's the complete every down running back. I don't think Mark Ingram is that.
Okay.
Like, I have a hard time justifying taking Mark Ingram number 5 if I have to bring in a third down back to spell him in the pass game.
Sure.
Like, you see these highly coveted backs now, and like this kind of Derrick Henry effect a little bit, right? Because Derrick Henry isn't the best receiver either, and he's fine. He's got his own little niche. My only point though is if I'm going to take at number 5 any kind of running back, I better see you out there for 3 downs.
Sure.
I can't spell you. Sorry.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get spelled in Jacksonville.
Why?
Bro, you're just not going to play Tank and ETN.
What did I just say? If Ashton Jeanty's coming to Jacksonville, Travis Etienne's going to be gone.
Wouldn't that have happened already?
That's my argument, too. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, where I think if you go after Jeanty, you almost got to move Travis Etienne because you have the most capital now.
Yes.
If you get Jeanty, team's going to go, oh, well, you're desperate to move him. You better give us a discount.
If they draft Jeanty, they're probably trading Etienne during the draft, right?
I would say so.
For like a 6th?
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope it was a little more, but you think you get a 6th round pick for Etienne?
Yeah, I think Casey kind of nailed that.
6th round pick for Etienne.
I don't think you're getting better.
I mean, I'd have to see like whether nothing comparable.
You could literally just in back to Hamby's argument, would you rather draft Dylan Sampson in the 3rd or 4th round or 5th round, or trade for an Etienne who there's clearly been stuff, whether it's being on the field, being healthy? Like, what would you rather do?
No, listen.
If you're another team.
I'm under the belief that you can get great value at the running back in the 4th or 5th round. We've talked about this ad nauseum and Shock Your Mock. My only point, though, and this isn't me talking, this is James Gladstone talking, I guess I wouldn't be the most shocked if they took Ashton Jeanty with the 5th pick.
It's wild to me.
It's wild. And
people are drinking the Kool-Aid, especially in the last week.
Which I don't fully get, but I'm not.
Do you want me to go over the production breakdown again, Casey?
No, but actually, if you want to bring up the production breakdown,
we'll do it, man.
Listen, I know you're not an avid Twitter user.
I'm not.
But hey, I posted the same clip in 2 different clips and tagged you, and I couldn't get a damn retweet. Instead, you tweeted it yourself on a screen record off your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, man, because it was 5 minutes long.
Retweet.
Okay, I'll retweet right now. I didn't see
you.
Oh, did you? Oh, you got the golf one too.
Yes, bro.
Casey, you of all people to talk about the use of Twitter.
Okay.
To me.
Okay. No. Listen, I'm not arguing that. I haven't been on my Twitter.
Sure.
Okay, but here's the deal. Me and Brent worked out a new contract.
Okay.
I can't explain to you how important the impressions are to me at this point.
Oh, so now.
So if
God,
you ever,
now I gotta retweet everything.
If you ever want to see me again after this week, retweet everything, and then unretweet it and retweet it again. Quote retweet it.
Oh, fine.
And then send it to your best friends and say, "This is my friend Austen Lane on the show, whatever the date is."
Okay. Wait. So, but it still count. So if I cut it up and I post it, it doesn't count for you for your impressions.
I didn't do anything.
It was your video that I cut up,
but I didn't do it. I had already done it though. Like the work had been done. All you had to do was go. This is all you had to do. Nice retweet. Instead, you said, "Let me go find it."
No one's gonna because
on your tiny phone. You're
because
scrolling.
it's 5 minutes. Because it's 5 minutes long.
So what?
Okay, man.
I know it's 5 minutes long.
Do you think people have the wherewithal, the patience to watch a 5-minute video?
No. But guess what? If they see it one time, point Casey.
Okay. But if you get retweeted, if
I
you
don't
get interactions
paid for watch time.
You get paid for views.
Just see it. And if you retweet it, all 12,000 of your people see it.
Hey, if you get views, if people retweet it. So, for instance, when I put that video out, it has, I don't know whatever. I don't care what this is. See, I hate talking about this stuff. It's got like 10 retweets. So that means 10 people retweeted it. That's more views for you.
It doesn't do anything for me. I didn't post it.
But I'm saying...
Tell Brent, he's the one that wrote the contract.
Okay, but I'm saying if it's a shorter video, people are going to be more in tune, I feel like, to watch the whole thing and then retweet it because, like, oh, that makes some good points. And then retweet it.
I agree fully. But you know what my fault was, Austin?
That you believed in me.
I thought all 5 minutes of your content was so damn good that it wasn't worth cutting it to. I thought you and Hamby were going back and forth, having a conversation. Hamby was helping you along. You were making points, and I was like, all 5 minutes of this deserves to be seen. And you know what you said?
Man. Here's the retweet.
Nah.
Oh, absolutely.
And then
I said nah.
Your next 2 minutes that I thought was good as well, I put in a different tweet.
I didn't see that. Hey, man, you got Casey. Who are you talking to with this Twitter stuff?
I need you.
Who are you talking to, though? Okay. But, like, don't come at me like I'm Brent Martineau where I'm retweeting everything that I see. Okay? I'm barely on Twitter as it is. I'm going back right now, and I'm trying to... And I'm getting tagged in way too many things here on the show, by the way. I can't even find Casey's stuff.
Yep.
There, we're good. I think we're fine. Good.
Appreciate that.
Enjoy the viewership. Do you want me to tag Dana White in it too, so we can get him to retweet it for you?
Dude, best case scenario. If Dana White retweets it, I am renegotiating right now, and I just negotiated last week. Okay, so anyway.
Man, so you're on like the player performance bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to hit a certain impressions number.
Okay.
I get a bonus. So
okay. Now, are you on Instagram?
We just hit 100 messages on our chat.
Are we on Instagram, Casey? We on TikTok?
Hey.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
We are?
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay.
It's only been one day. I mean.
Well, if we're worried about impressions.
Okay.
Delphonic is offering help in the chat.
Listen, I can't.
Delphonic's going to take Casey's job. Just wait.
I'm pretty sure Delphonic's been offered some sort of role around here multiple times, but Delphonic is like, no, I just want to do it for fun. I love you, Delphonic.
No,
Thanks
dude,
for the help.
that's why I messed with Delphonic, man.
I mean, bro could have been on the payroll long before me. When I got fired for real, he could have came in, took the spot. You would have never heard from Casey again. But instead, Delphonic, who was being loyal to the brand, was like, you know what? I'm gonna help Casey out and keep him his fired job. So
Casey, if Ashton Jeanty is not the answer, who do you expect the Jaguars to draft? Because me and Jason Hamby are under the same belief, much to Brent Martineau's chagrin, that it's going to be Mason Graham.
Yeah, why not?
You think Mason Graham?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's kind of like the layup, right? I feel like.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something.
No, I think it makes enough sense. Why not?
Now, Jalon Walker is a name that's been thrown around too a little bit. Right, Hamby?
And Jalon Walker.
There we go. There we go.
The topic of today's
Stockton to Malone.
That one Painter First Coast Daniel D. Griffiths article and graphic. So let me pull this up for you. And by the way, when I first saw this helmet, it looked orange. So I was like, I got the wrong one. No, it's red because this is a dog. Among 236 FBS linebackers, first in pressures production, second in pass rush win percentage production, tied for 9th sacks, 6.5, no problem. Tied for 86 with most tackle percentage, 12.1, and tied for 135th with stops. Not sure if this was just his last year or total college, but I'm pretty sure it was just last year because he had 6.5 sacks last year. 34 pressures. Austin, is that the amount of production that you're looking for, or do the sacks being a little lower? Where do you weigh it? You want production, you don't want project, or do you think Gladstone wants that? So is this a project or is this production?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, right? Because the numbers speak for themselves. He was first in pressures. You like that. Now, my argument about first in pressures is because if you want to go with the next-gen analytics that say he was 7th in terms of production score, is the pressures coming from just a straight man rush where he's on the edge, or is the pressures coming from when he was blitzing up the middle? We don't know.
We don't know.
Correct. So it's hard for me to say, well, this guy's a great pass rusher because I think there's a lot of great pass rushers. I think Devin Lloyd could be a good pass rusher if you choose to blitz him and use him at what he was good at. I think Miles Jack, when he played weak side linebacker, was a pretty good pressure guy when you blitzed him. So in terms of production here, I'd actually have to and listen, I don't like doing this, but I actually have to go in and see was he blitzing? Was he on the edge? The main thing with Jalon Walker and why I feel like there could be an asterisk next to this and why it could be a question mark next to this, because if you take the next-gen stats of 7th at linebacker in production score, does Gladstone see that type of production? Does Gladstone see what kind of player he is and go, okay, I know what we're going to do with him? Or is it, well, we got to wait and see? Because I think when you brought Trayvon Walker, and this was Trent Baalke, obviously, we had the image of, okay, this guy played in the middle, this guy played stand-up linebacker, this guy he was going to be an edge. Mm-hmm. We all knew he was going to be an edge. It's Trent Baalke's MO. Long-limbed edge rushers. Trayvon Walker, enter. Jalon Walker, what do you do with him? Do you put him at linebacker in base coverages and then sub him in on the edge? Do you keep him on the edge the entire time and try to put some weight on him? I'm not sure what you do. And I get this is a brand new regime and everything, but do we really want another guy that we have to bring in and ask, like, okay, are we going to put him in the best possible position to succeed, or are we going to do him a disservice?
Daniel DeGriffiths writes on actionsportsjacks.com, he says, turn back on either of the Texas games. We played them twice, once in the regular season, once in the SEC Championship, and his impact is obvious. Against Texas, Walker amassed 13 pressures, 4 sacks, and 9 defensive stops in 2 games. So obviously when the lights were brightest, playing against, I think, at least 3 guys on their offensive line or NFL draft picks, with Williams and Majors, and I believe there's one more, Banks. So all 3 of those guys are projected to be drafted, at least the first 2 tackles early, at least second and third round. But when the lights were brightest against a good team, Walker shined for Georgia. Also says in coverage, Walker was rarely targeted, allowing just 10 receptions and 89 yards on the season. He'll be limited primarily to play off-ball linebacker. He's learning, but he has the traits to excel there, and we already have seen the production side on the edge.
How much does he play right away if they pick him?
I mean, you can't play him in base right away. I mean, unless you put him out. Once again, I don't know where you put him. Like, I guess you got to put him out line. If you draft him at number 5, then Lloyd's got to be gone. Simple as that. Like, how are you going to justify taking Jalon Walker at number 5 and saying, okay, we're just going to bring you in on sub packages?
You don't.
You don't. That's not what a number 5 pick does.
Then pass.
So
shock the world, pick someone that's going to play.
So
right away.
So if you bring him in, what I would see is, because once again, I'm going off of what Vic Fangio is going to run, what Campanelli is going to run. I think we don't know yet because it depends on the personnel that they have. But if you want to look at the past of what Green Bay does, where you just rush 4, you're going to have him playing Devin Lloyd's spot. And then on sub packages, I guess what you need to do is you're going to have to move Trayvon Walker down and then have him on the edge.
Yeah. Just pick Mason Graham.
I'm
thinking I'm
Jalon Walker's biggest fan, and I don't want him. Ooh. Like
it's saying something for him.
I want him, but not at 5, and I don't want him over an interior guy.
He's a great. Listen, will he be a great player? Yeah, probably.
But probably on somebody else's team.
Correct.
That doesn't have glaring needs. Because take for Nolan Smith, for example, for the Eagles. He was there. He didn't start.
It was a luxury pick for them. Mm-hmm.
He's a first rounder. What did they take? 26, 27, something like that?
But it was a luxury pick.
It's a luxury pick. Mm-hmm. They didn't have any glaring needs. They had a full starting cast on their defensive line and said, oh, yeah, let's just go get one more guy off the edge that we can sub in on third down that doesn't have to play right away. And he's making plays in the Super Bowl. Like, he's a great player. If he was in Jacksonville playing all 3 downs, first of all, he's undersized to play edge down in and down out, especially on rundowns. So they were a team that could play him at his strengths, and he's going to make a lot of money because of that. If Nolan Smith was a Jacksonville Jaguar and was told to play instead of Trayvon Walker, for say, we didn't have Trayvon, we had Nolan Smith, a lot of people will be scratching their heads right now is why exactly we took him where we did. If we're in that same position right now, you can't take a luxury pick. Jalon Walker is a luxury pick. He's a guy that's going to take time to be a full 3-down player. Well, right now you need a 3-down player, so you cannot take Jalon Walker.
Can somebody please explain to me why, so Jalon Walker's plus 400. He's the second favorite right now for the Jaguars to take.
How about that?
But then you have a guy I don't know. Let's go with, and I get this would be a giant reach, Will Johnson.
Yeah.
Who might be the best cornerback in this draft. He right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars is plus 3,500.
2,500 on Hard Rock.
All right, so
Hard Rock knows. Hard Rock's like, hold on.
Hard Rock's got that Florida connection.
Everything else.
Bovada's like overseas and everything, so you don't know what's going on.
Everything else you said though has been exactly.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, like make it make sense for me.
If you go back a month ago, Austin, both of those guys were mocking the same exact pick range.
Yeah. I don't know.
And corner's just as much of a need as edge, if not more.
And listen, everyone's saying, well, it's Hard Rock. You know, it's these betting. I go back, but I go back to day 2 when Tyson Campbell was the favorite.
I remember this.
And I'm like, there's no way.
We talked about this for 3 hours.
We did.
We were like, what?
Yeah. Who? Like, there's no, and I forgot like who the other guys that were.
Yeah, I don't
available at that time.
But I remember as soon as the first round ended.
Yeah,
he was the heavy favorite, and we were
the
3 of us were texting.
Awestruck.
Like, what?
We were flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Vegas knew something that we didn't, obviously.
Spot on. They picked him.
Does Vegas know something that we don't about Jalon Walker? Does Daniel Griffiths know something that we don't know about Jalon Walker? Possibly. I mean, I guess you can call them the Walker brothers if you have Trayvon and Jalon.
Oh boy, catchy nicknames.
There you go. I mean, hey man, trying to produce a little bit. So you want to see him take Mason Graham though?
Sure.
Casey, is that?
Why not?
Yeah,
he plays.
If Travis Hunter's there.
By the way, Travis Hunter plus 2,000 on Hard Rock
for the Jacksonville.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of like the ultimate? Because if he's there, he's going to Jacksonville. We all in agreement on that, Hamby. If Travis Hunter's available at 5, you're not going to trade back. You're taking him.
Yes.
Okay, so we all agree with that.
Heck yeah.
Who's to say that a quarterback can't go earlier than expected?
Oh,
and
definitely.
Travis Hunter falls to Jacksonville.
Oh, it could happen. At 5, it could absolutely happen.
Yeah. But once again, like, why is he plus 2,500 and I'm looking down and like Jackson Dart's plus 4? You know, like it makes zero sense to me. Some of these things.
Jackson Dart's ahead of him?
No, Jackson Dart's this one's plus 4,000. But
if Jackson Dart goes in the top 10,
I don't know, man.
I think he's great, but I'm trying to remember where exactly our thinking was. I mean, I'm sure you guys know. You talked about it for 3 hours.
Yes.
In that second round, do you have any idea who we were looking at that time? Why Tyson Campbell was much of a shock? I'm about to name you a couple of the guys that went after.
I forget who was on the roster. That would be the real question. Who was on the Jags at the time?
I felt like there was another. It's crazy. It's just a couple years ago, Casey. We can't remember, but
lots happened.
Lots happened. Who you got for us?
What do you got?
Who else went after Tyson Campbell?
Okay, so obviously he's 33.
Yep.
Correct.
Jets go with Elijah Moore. Broncos go Javonte Williams. Dolphins Javon Holland safety. Landon Dickerson center. Eagles Christian Barmore. Patriots.
Barmore. I was on
Barmore.
Barmore, and then Holland was because he was the wild card.
Yes.
Barmore was the guy
because they had.
Yep, that's what it was.
It wasn't the running back because they had picked ETN, right?
Correct. And we thought that Barmore was going to go first round.
Yes.
And then he falls second round, and we're like,
Barmore.
It's a layup. Take him. And then they got Tyson Campbell.
That's who it definitely was.
That's exactly what it was, Hamby. And in retrospect, I didn't know how's Barmore doing. Probably not that well, right? I don't hear his name a lot.
I thought he was doing pretty well.
Is he? Let me look him up quick.
Patriots, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe he's doing all right then.
Well, I mean, they suck. I don't know if you've heard.
Well, I mean, the Patriots defense is pretty,
that's fair.
all things considered. Trying to look up some stats here real quick. Please bear with me, everybody.
Wild day that was.
Yeah, for no rhyme or reason. Christian Barmore, because I remember we were celebrating because we thought he was going to go in the first round.
Yes.
And we're like, we get a first round talent in the second round, but Tyson Campbell's the favorite, huh?
He was hurt. Barmore hurt all of last year in 2023. His third season in the league had 8.5 sacks from the tackle spot.
Oh,
yeah. I think he's about to get
be fair,
paid.
though, Tyson Campbell,
Urban. Damn it.
But to be fair, Tyson Campbell, when he's healthy, Casey, I know I'm trying to make myself feel better about it.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
Urban.
He missed with blood clots. Another guy. Weren't we just talking about blood clots the other day?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Somebody had Dame, right?
Dame Lillard.
He missed all of last season with blood clots.
Christian Barmore.
He played a couple of games, but
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a serious question about blood clots. This is not a joke.
Please.
How do you know you have them?
So,
is there a way to know before you go to the doctor? So
I had a guy that I train with in jiu-jitsu.
Uh-huh.
He had it in his calf. I guess for whatever reason, calves are common, but like his calf started going numb. Like he could feel something was up. Like it wasn't normal, and it wasn't like a Charlie horse. He said like he started losing feeling in his calf. So then he got it checked out, and sure enough.
Dang.
But do you know how many times like I've been like at the gym and I like squatted and like, oh, I'm pretty sore. Man, I feel a little tingle. You know, I get like a little like worried about it now, but I think I'm okay.
Huh.
Wild.
Brent Martineau chiming in. He thinks Christian Barmore's career is in trouble. Not positive.
Because of the blood clots?
Because they took Milton Williams? They signed him?
I'm just going off of the text, man. I don't know. You guys can check the text.
Yeah,
Decipher it for how you want, man.
The text before that was when you weren't on Twitter. Get him, Casey. I like that one. Hey, man.
What? Do I really need to go over Twitter, my whole philosophy on Twitter again?
No, we're going to go over a break instead.
I'm just saying, we're friends, right?
No, we're friends.
We're advocates
hey, man,
of working.
Do you want to see my mentions, my DMs of what I got to deal with every single day?
No,
I don't want to be a part of it.
I get it, but just help your boy out. You want me here or not?
I'm going to build my own new... Okay, I'm going to build the Austen Lane burner account, and I'll just retweet all your stuff. No, I got you. I didn't know you were getting paid. By the way, I'm not sure who your agent is. Change it.
What do you mean change it?
Because now you're getting paid off of views?
It's a great philosophy.
What are you, an influencer?
I'm trying to make you guys influencers. This has nothing to do with me.
Oh, dude, I'm the anti-influencer now. You gotta know who you're dealing with, Casey.
So this is it, huh?
What do you mean this is it?
You just don't want me around?
No, dude.
You don't want me here? No scrap house?
One day, oh, I want you around.
Well, if you don't retweet my stuff, assume I won't ever be here again.
I'm gonna retweet your stuff now because I have no choice. I just wish the choice would have been like, hey, yeah, you got it, Casey. Hey, watch me stay true to that for 2 days and then just forget all about it again.
Check in on Monday. We'll never hear from Austin on Twitter again.
When we come back on the Brent and Austin show, I think Hamby wants to talk some baseball. It's his turn to have the segment, but I'm probably going to hijack and actually talk some NBA since we haven't talked NBA for the past like 3 days, and you know the playoffs are starting up. And I know, Casey, you can talk it a little bit. Hamby, you're still on timeout with it, but we'll get into that next year on the Brent and Austin show.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand, wait on a sign above, and I am ready, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show. You might be wondering, what does Nico Iamaleava have to do with a Fellowship Baptist Church in East Tennessee? We're going to have a little story time.
Oh, okay.
A man by the name of Josh Sullivan is a pastor at Fellowship Baptist Church, and this is a national story. He's from, obviously, that's East Tennessee. He's been in South Africa doing missions work for a number of years, and as is a kind of a big concern for a lot of pastors who go overseas. He gets kidnapped, held at gunpoint during a prayer meeting.
Whoa.
And he's held for ransom, right? Because anytime they seize anybody in a suit or somebody who they think is American, all that deal.
You're probably important.
Right. And he's not no celebrity pastor. I mean, as you saw, his church is about 50 to 100 members. Not that that matters, but that's the thinking. Anyways, in the last couple of days that happened. He was rescued, I believe, a day or two ago and has been returned to the United States.
By Nico?
By Nico. I was gonna say.
That's the news part of it. And this morning I saw the headline again because being from East Tennessee, he was finally brought up to speed on the Nico situation and was reportedly very upset that Nico had wronged the University of Tennessee and is now transferring to UCLA.
Dude's first interview quote about what he went through in his ordeal wasn't about just God looking out for him.
Hold on.
Well, okay.
This is not his first words. I'm sure there was a lot of that.
Well, because he was on Twitter, and I guess one of the very first things I saw this. I know
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't go with the notification. Hey, notifications are turned off, man.
Get that right away.
Notification. I know.
Gotcha.
Notifications turned off though, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, one of the very first things he says is about Nico.
Wow. Could you imagine? What the most traumatic experience of all time, fresh off the plane. Where's Nico?
He gone.
Am I wrong? I get you're mad that he left. Are you that mad about him though? Was he that good of a player last year for you? Where
it's more so about how he wronged the university.
Sure.
Did you say he's going to UCLA?
He's going to UCLA. That was yesterday, yeah.
Oh. I don't care at all.
How do we feel about that?
Okay, first of all, guys, let me tell you this. I saw that headline yesterday, and I retweeted it, saying never to be heard from again.
Yeah.
And somebody got at me. It was like, yeah, as if UCLA has never sent a quarterback to the NFL.
Josh Rosen was real good.
And I said, what, Troy Aikman?
Good call, Casey. Troy Aikman.
That was 40 years ago. Like, doesn't that prove my point?
A little bit.
No, I'm with you. I would have been on your side there, Hamby.
Josh Rosen, like DTR. Are we really reaching that far?
I like DTR.
I like that, Hamby. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little retweet there, quick, since we're doing that today.
Attaboy.
I like that one.
Nice.
Just kidding.
UCLA, huh?
So here's the thing, and because wasn't Tulane in the running as well?
I saw something. See, I don't know what's real.
Tulane, I know. No, Tulane pulled out.
What happened to Tulane, Hamby?
They can't pay him that much money.
But why were they even in the running?
Well, no, didn't they get the other kid? What happened there?
They have a little money to spend, a little bit more than maybe you would think. I just think that we're not going to pay that much.
What, they got that Mardi Gras money? How are they getting the Tulane?
Didn't Tulane get Duke's quarterback? Am I bugging here?
I don't know.
Yes, but he was Murphy.
Because he didn't play in the Gator Bowl, and it was a big deal at the time. And then didn't he get in trouble or something, and now he's not playing? I don't...
Oh, I think he's still there. I didn't hear about the trouble part.
Okay, that makes even less sense if he's still there then, because for some reason I thought he got in trouble. But when people said that Tulane was in on him originally, I was like, didn't they just get the guy from Duke? I don't keep up with Tulane. I have no idea what that was going on with Tulane.
I know, for real.
Or UCLA for that matter.
But here's my whole thing. Do we know what the price is now for Nico? Like how much? Because his family, they came out a press release. It was never about the money. It was about the offensive system. I'm sorry.
Then transfer in December.
No, you knew
the head coach wasn't going anywhere.
I know.
And they brought in a new OC who's going to be a clone of the head coach.
My biggest thing is this: say you get your $2 million at UCLA. Say you get your Bugatti, which is what, another $1 million, I guess. I don't know how much a Bugatti is.
He's getting a Bugatti.
Part of the request from his transfer to the NIL was a Bugatti.
Good for him.
I guess.
No.
But my point is, if you go to UCLA and you're just forgotten about, because I don't think you're going to win a national championship there. Yeah. I don't think you're going to be playing on a big stage there at UCLA. Well, then what's your draft stock going to do?
Yeah, I think...
you had a better shot at getting drafted first round and going to Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. But I think there may come a time... This is an unfair thing to say, but I'm going to say it. As this has played out this year, do you think Nico loves football? And this is unfair. I get it. It's unfair.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's hard to question if you love football, because if you love football, I would probably go to stay at the better team,
right?
Where I'm going to be the starter regardless and take less money.
So let's just play out the scenario that maybe he doesn't love football.
Okay.
If you're not concerned about going to the league, go get your Bugatti, go get your millions, and never work again.
Casey, but how much is a first-round pick in the NFL going to make at the quarterback position compared to one cool year at UCLA?
$40 million?
I get it. Maybe he's real with himself and he knows he's not that good.
Fake it then, man.
If you listen, here's my biggest thing. If you play at Tennessee, you're going to be in the playoff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Guys that are in the playoff get pushed way up the board and make a lot of money.
That's fair.
If Will Howard was still at Kansas State, he wouldn't be the quarterback that he was.
That's fair.
If Riley Leonard was still at Duke,
that's fair.
He would be nowhere close to where you get half your exposure. And if you play, obviously at the end of the day, you have to play well. And Will Howard played phenomenally in the playoff, and so did Riley Leonard, but they were in the games. Mm-hmm. And you have 2, 3, 4 more opportunities on the biggest stage against good football teams to prove that you can play at the next level. Will Howard, I guarantee you 2x his money by playing in the playoff. Same thing with Riley Leonard. Nico, you would have had that opportunity, whether you want to or not. Like, if I don't love football and I still can stare down at $30 million, like, I'll play 4 years in the NFL. Like,
that's what I'm saying, man. Because it's the long game here. Let me ask you guys this: like Josh Allen, Wyoming.
Before we get there,
Carson
Austin,
Wentz.
I think I got to show you this.
Okay.
This is going viral on Twitter. City you're moving from, Knoxville, Tennessee. City you're moving to L.A. Your current income, $2 million. To maintain your current standard of living in L.A., you need to earn $3.5 million.
Damn.
Wow.
Have fun.
Yeah, but it ain't about the money, though. So what is he worried about? It ain't about the money.
And weirdly enough, all this stuff is like family related. Everybody who doesn't want to blame Nico is putting 100% of the blame on his dad.
Yeah.
And so but that's what Tennessee fans are doing, who don't want to blame the kid. His brother was briefly committed to UCLA before transferring. So there's weird stuff there. That's why UCLA wasn't the top percentage pick as soon as he announced that he was transferring, because it's like, well, there's some stuff there with the brother. He ends up there anyway.
It's crazy how LeVar Ball's just watching him and be like, man,
without a leg.
Yikes.
Without
But
a leg is crazy.
Hamby, jeez, man.
He owns it. That's like
It's accurate, but it's
if
crazy.
that was
Jeez,
that's his
man.
shtick now, and that's why it
That
had to be
sounds
said.
like something I would have said.
I've never heard that be a Hamby's got intrusive thoughts lately.
Without
I was going to ask you
a
guys.
leg.
I'm a big fan of
Do you
LeVar.
think what we've seen the last of like the Josh Allens and the Carson Wentz's from these smaller schools or from like, these not Power 5 schools make it?
One-on-one, never loss.
Yes.
I don't even ask questions, dude.
Yes, I do think.
Hamby, go talk baseball.
I do think.
I can't have a show.
Because, no, listen.
Brent leaves and it's like, it's free for all. What do you got?
Because you're never going to, like, and I know what you're going, small school-wise, Wyoming and whatnot. But, like,
Correct.
take Duke. I would consider Duke small school for football.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Riley Leonard transferred and is going to be, he's not going to be a star in the NFL, but he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other, his successor is now at Tulane for a multiple $1 million.
Yeah.
Which Tulane is small school too, I get that. But the point is, even at a school like Duke, they're leaving for something bigger. You said Will Howard, Kansas State, even a decent-sized school in football left.
Yeah.
So if you're not staying there, I can't imagine that the Trey Lance is ever going to happen.
And it's almost to the point now where if you don't make the college football playoff as a quarterback, you're not getting first-round looks. Like that's what I think eventually it'll be.
And Shedeur is, because of all of the hype around him, is one of the ones that can curtail that and be the exemption.
Yeah, I mean, but you look at Cam Ward. Cam Ward didn't go to the playoff, but obviously, he's top guy right now.
Yeah.
All right. Hamby, you got anything for us before we head out?
You got 5 minutes for basketball, my brother.
Oh, 5 minutes for basketball. I mean, we want to talk about what do you got?
What I do right here.
You just gonna well, Hamby, real quick, come on, because we could talk basketball yesterday, but apparently the Braves had some good pictures starting up, so we couldn't talk basketball because we had to put the screen up of that picture that you posted.
Spencer Strider.
Don't hit that pitcher. You know good and well who that was.
How'd it go last night?
We lost. He pitched well. We'll be fine.
How'd it go last night? Casey, do you got the play-by-play ready again?
I don't.
Our
Chalk it
offense
up.
is atrocious.
Hey, real quick before you do basketball, I know it's going to kill you.
No, it's fine.
But real quick.
Go and retweet it, though.
That'd be great. I want to get this in real quick. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to be bringing bits for the show, right? That's in my contract.
Yes.
So tomorrow, here's what we're going to do. We've got a wrestling bit. Not going to explain that too much till tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and don't undersell it. It's Brent and Austin's WrestleMania Spectacular tomorrow.
Okay.
Trademarked.
It's Brent and Austin's WrestleMania Spectacular
tomorrow. There you go.
Featuring me and Hamby. Hamby, you'll have a role.
I won't be here tomorrow.
He's not going to be here tomorrow.
Are you serious? Who's producing?
Nick in the daytime.
All right. He can work.
Check out my man's quads.
What are we doing?
He's got massive quads.
So Bulls got beat last night. Tyler Hero went off. That was pretty cool. Finish your stuff, Casey, please.
Okay, this is a mess. Anyway, listen, this is what we're going to do on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the month, we're all going to have a fictional amount of money.
Okay.
You're going to go on Hard Rock. If you don't have it, download it. You're going to find what you want to put your fictional amount of money on. So let's just say, play with, I don't have the exact numbers, but let's say it's $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You have to spend at least $10 a week.
Okay.
So every week on Friday, we're going to come in here. We're going to be like, this is what I'm betting on. You're going to put the number, because you can do this on Hard Rock, even if you have money in your account or not. You can take what you want to bet on. You can put any fictional amount of money. Oh, that's a profit boost.
And
here's me putting $50,000 on the Jags to pick Mason Graham.
Okay, I like it.
So you put anything you want inside the money you still have for the month.
Yes.
You screenshot it.
Okay.
So there's proof of everything that's happened.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, Casey. Yes. Is it like what kind of bets are we talking? I mean, it's any kind of bet.
You can do whatever you want.
But I'm saying, does it have to pay off in a certain time? Like, are we going to go weekly? Like, it's got to be like a game.
It would be best to know when we come back on Friday.
Okay, so some like a game or an event that takes place within that week.
Yes.
So we can make good on it on Friday.
Yes. Like if Hamby wants to bet on the Braves on Tuesday, he'll tell us that on Friday. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Against the Braves.
Got it.
Maybe.
And so basically, the winner of the month means nothing until the end. The loser, there's going to be a wheel of misfortune.
Okay.
And if you lose the month, you have to spin the wheel, do whatever the wheel says.
Do we know what's going to be on the wheel of misfortune?
I can promise you it won't be nothing terrible. But like, it'll be slightly inconvenient.
Okay. Something probably a little social media friendly too. Maybe go viral a little bit. I mean, that's...
Hey.
Austin has to tweet once a day.
Oh, man. That would kill me.
That's actually a good one. I add that to the wheel.
That would kill me. Brent's like, once a day. Give me 25 times.
Now, the other stipulation to this, because I told Brent when I pitched this, I said, what we're not going to do is find a bet 2 minutes before we go on the air. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to have it. But I know Brent will not. So part of the bit is if you suspect Brent has done it during the show, you can call him out.
Like fish out of water.
Yes.
Marco
Yes,
Polo?
exactly like fish out of water.
Is that like Marco Polo?
Yes.
Okay.
And if he did it, like if you're not in the pool.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, you look confused.
Well, because like it's called Marco Polo.
No, Marco
But you
Polo.
can call fish out of water.
I got it.
Yeah.
He made it sound like just keep going.
Anyway, if you're right, Brent immediately has to spin the wheel. If you're wrong,
I gotta spin the wheel.
You gotta spin the wheel.
Yeah, playing with fire there. All right, Casey.
That's the
Luckily,
bit.
I got camera shots. So
And do we have anything else too? A little WrestleMania teaser.
Hopefully he's not listening.
It's a good call.
What? Anything for WrestleMania tomorrow? Any specials that you're cooking up for us?
I'm working on some stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to tease for the folks tomorrow. They can tune in to the WrestleMania Spectacular.
Oh, it's gonna be good. I ruined all your time.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, Tyler Hero had a good game.
Hey,
You know,
real quick. Last thing. Amanda accused you of being a scumbag. I got to see if it's true or not.
With what?
She said somebody cut her off in traffic yesterday in a black vehicle that looked a lot like you. Where were you at yesterday?
What time?
5-ish? 6-ish?
At home. 6-ish.
Weren't out.
No.
Confirmed. Amanda thinks it was you.
No, I was. If you want to know where I was with somebody somebody else was driving.
Okay, it wasn't you.
Confirmed. That wasn't me, man.
All right, just checking.
You know, I mean, people have my car.
So anyway, Tyler Hero, huh?
Yeah, he had 38 points. It's crazy.
Bulls suck,
He
though.
did good. Yeah, and then it's the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks for the play. Yep.
How you feel about the Kings?
Who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares? We got the Kings.
No, Kings are good. Yeah, Kings are. Kings lost.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking. They sold.
Yeah, but the question is is it right to have a 37-45 team possibly going to the playoffs?
It is not.
It is not
It's
at all.
stupid.
It's
It's a
so
bad design.
stupid. Adam Silver, change it, man.
Change it.
For
Pure
Brent,
Fusion Collective.
For Casey Kurtz.
See ya.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, you can get a free Kinetico reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Kinetico water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.